We Real Reels.
Welcome to We Real Reels, the monthly podcast where we review old movies to find out if they are as good as we remember or if they make you float. I'm your host, Panda Brandon, and with me is my half-brother, the Grizzly Zay,
Yep.
and the beautiful Koala Sam.
Hello.
This podcast does contain spoilers, and we'll be discussing the movie at length. This is a mature content podcast, so be prepared for harsh language and awkward situations. All sound clips, music, and trailers are only used for review purposes and belong to their respective owners. This podcast is brought to you by The Collector's Comic Book Store, located in Lebanon, Tennessee. That's 205 South Maple Street, Lebanon, Tennessee. Follow them at The Collector's Toys on Instagram and Facebook. They've got a cool costume contest going on this month as well. All you gotta do is come up in store and costume, and you could potentially win $100 in store credit.
I think I might do it.
This podcast is also time-stamped, so if you want to get past the mumbo-jumbo and get to a certain segment, then go ahead. Look in the episode description and get to where you want to go.
And mumbo jumbo there will be, because this movie is damn long.
Yes, it is. Y'all ready for this month's hypothetical question? All right. For new listeners, the hypothetical question is a combination of two movies, the last movie reviewed and the one we will be reviewing right now. So this month's question is, how would Cole and Dr. Malcolm Crowe deal or handle Pennywise?
Okay, I'm having a complete brain fart. What
Sixth
fucking
Sense.
movie did
Sixth
we...
Sense.
Sixth
Sixth
Sense.
Sense.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I'm like, I've completely forgotten.
His movie drained it out of you, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dr. Crow is dead, so maybe he'll try to...
I don't think he can do nothing to Dr. Crow. I don't think it's living beings he feeds off of fear, so it's got to be the kid. But it's like, dude, I feel after he learned that they don't want to hurt him, I feel like he'll come up to him and be like, oh, it's fine, you can use your powers on me, I can...
Right. But also, which
Pennywise
point?
isn't dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Pennywise is not a ghost.
No, but I'm talking about Dr. Crow is a ghost.
No, because I feel like, okay, so... Since Pennywise kills kids, I feel like he will see the kids that's around it, and he'll be able to stay away from them. Maybe.
And also, which part is it Dr. Crow? Because at the very beginning of the movie, well, up until the last 5 minutes, he didn't think he was dead. So I don't know. I guess he would probably try to help them.
I feel like since Cole can see dead people, he would probably get some information off of the older dead kids or other people that have died in Derry that knew something about it. That would give him some kind of clues as to how to defeat him.
If they're willingly to talk about it. Like, are these ghosts able to...
They want to rest in peace.
Yeah, but are they not being taken over by whatever its entity is? Like,
The ghost, the living kids were.
okay.
I don't think he captures souls. Anyways, let's get into our first segment of what you been doing and what you gonna do.
Hey, watch it, pal. What have you been doing? What are you gonna do, huh?
All right, Koala, you want to go ahead and start off this bad boy?
Oh, sure, why not? I'll do a quick and easy one. Last month, my oldest sister and her husband came down from Oregon, and they were here for one day, and then they ended up going to the music festival in, I think, Kentucky after that. So I ended up taking off work, and I met them in Nashville, and we did a whole bunch of touristy stuff. So it was great to being able to see them. I don't get to see them too often because they live in Oregon. And then we ended up doing a Gatlinburg trip, and we actually just got back this morning, and that was really cool. Very relaxing. The cabin was beautiful. It was super high up in the mountains, though. That was a little nerve-wracking driving up there and back down. Just very relaxing. Did a few things, walked around, and then went back to the cabin and hung out for a while. What we will do, or what I will do next month, is I gotta get the backyard ready for the Halloween, and I just found out today that there is, I don't know, some massive, crazy, transformed mosquitoes. They're fucking huge, and I gotta figure that out, kill a nest or something, because I apparently brought them inside too. We killed 3 today, so I gotta figure that out. And then at the end of the October, we're gonna do the Halloween party. We're gonna host that, and then next month we're gonna watch Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings, like we always do every single fall. So I'm excited. So yeah.
Grizz? What you got for us?
What I got is not much, y'all. Y'all know I'm still trying to go to school after I got laid off from my job. Yeah,
Good job. Tell everybody you got fired.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. But
Professor.
Oh, okay. I was like, I have no idea.
he was either going with that or Step Brothers. But I actually start school this year. I go to orientation the 18th, and I start school the 24th.
Oh, that's exciting. Congratulations.
So by the end of October, I should be able to at least drive. Not back up, but I should be able to drive. So I'm excited about that. Really excited to go on with a career. Eventually, I'm gonna try to push my way towards something that Panda right here always said he wanted to do, and that is start your own business. So I'm gonna get my CDL, and I'm gonna see if I can do something with this transportation stuff, because there's so much money to be made out here.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna at least try it. Stop working for other people, and I can work for myself.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
That's badass.
So yeah, just really almost all of my time is either going towards that and trying to get some help with the government with helping me with school.
Oh, okay.
With reconnect stuff. So now and then at the end of this month is hunting season, and I told y'all last year I'm definitely gonna hunt this year. And I got 3 spots I could potentially go to, so let's hope I get myself a good buck this year.
Okay, that's exciting.
And if I do, I will share the spoils with you guys if you guys want to taste it. But it'll be something that I'm gonna do myself. I'm gonna scout out everything. I'm a butcher, and then I'm gonna quarter it up and put it in the freezer, and we can go from there.
Okay.
But I'll prep everything myself, and if you guys want to taste it, just let me know how it is. And I'm down for it. Yeah, what I plan to do is keep on trying to hustle and get my money up, and try to have something later on in my life.
Sounds great.
Sounds pretty good. Pretty good.
You're on it.
Yeah, this last month, just been preparing for Halloween. A lot of, kind of small issues with the costume I got. So I've been really working on that, and it's starting to come together, and there's no flaws in it now. So I'm kind of excited about it. Went to Gatlinburg, like Koala said, and that was an awesome trip. I mean, we got down there to Gatlinburg, and there was this Christmas shop, which was the highlight of the trip. And it was like you walk in and everything is Christmas, man. They're playing Christmas music. There's just every room is filled with lights and different trees, and they have different themes. There was a peppermint room with pink peppermint, red and white peppermint. There was like the white Christmas, the white decorations, the white lights, white trees. They had that room, a gingerbread room where all the decorations were made out of gingerbread, the regular red and blue and multicolored Christmas. It was just amazing. Man, it really took me back to times where my grandmother would have these huge Christmas Eve parties, and everybody would show up from all over, and it would just be an awesome time. So it really took me back, and I really love that place. I'm going back every year.
He definitely was like a kid in a candy store. He was walking around taking pictures of everything, and it's just like, I love this. I love this. And he was like, I want to work here.
Oh my God. Could you imagine working somewhere where it's Christmas every day?
Here's my thing, though, is that you could probably do a little Christmas store of your own since you got that 3D printer. You can just paint some stuff, get these ornaments, put them on your tree.
By God.
The ones you should say you wanted, go see if there's a file for it and
Make it happen.
Make it happen. Because I'm thinking about putting that grenade that you gave me on my Christmas tree.
Heck yeah. Paint that sucker up.
The Halo grenade. I love that thing.
Yeah,
Bro.
that's
Just
awesome.
give me that plasma one. I'll do that.
So besides that, we were driving around, and I guess every other weekend in Gatlinburg, it's some kind of special car weekend. A couple years ago, we went. It was a Jeep weekend. This weekend, it was all lowriders, and it was lowriders and a bunch of just like little souped up Hondas. And I'm talking about low riders, where they got the wheels like they're inclined just so the car can get a little lower.
Oh yeah. The annoying cars that sound like they like a mosquitoes in the air whenever they can take off.
They're so loud with no power, and it was tons of them this weekend. There were a few good ones here or there, but most of them were the same, and they all had that same douchey haircut that everybody has now for some reason. And I was thinking, like, I don't remember in high school if there was one main style that everybody got. I don't remember. I remember kids with braids. Kids had the Jonathan Taylor Thomas part in the middle.
People had the
Chris
Justin
Evans,
Timberlake.
the Justin Timberlakes, the Justin Biebers. There was all kind of different styles, but now they all have that stupid curly hair at the bottom. They put their fucking hat over it, and then that's it. They all do it. The blacks, the whites, the Mexicans, they all doing it. I'm like, well, what is going on? who come up with this stupid ass style and why is everybody copying? But besides that, we went to the cabin, had an awesome little adventure there. They had a pool table,
Foosball,
a theater room,
ping pong ball,
an arcade machine,
air hockey.
It was awesome. And they had this cool ass window that would catch birds.
Oh, there was not no catching birds. They fly into him.
They flew right into him, broke two of them necks, and gave one of them a concussion. And it was this birdiful little blue and yellow bird. And you'll see it on the We Will Reels Instagram. We'll post it on there. But it was this little greenish yellow bird. And I was able to pick him up, and he was on my hand, just chilling. It was a magical moment. I felt like a Disney prince. Then he just flew off. I never saw him again.
Until he came back and broke his neck.
He might have. But yeah, this upcoming month, I've got a Flex for a Cause, the charity event for muscular dystrophy. That'll be at the Watertown High School in Watertown. So that'll be something that's looking forward to. Helping out and supporting a good cause. And I'm having a Halloween party on the 26th of this month, so that'll be awesome as well. Can't wait for that. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the holidays. I'm a big Christmas fan, so I can't wait for that. That'll be it for that.
Sounds good.
That's
Sounds
right.
good.
And now let's hopefully old Grizzly can tell us a little something about how to make something go away with a bang bang pow pow.
It's over 9,000.
All right, guys. So, like I said, this is almost hunting season. And so, with that, I do have my own weapon that I reviewed. What was that? A couple months ago? No, it was about a year. Yeah, it was a year ago. A year ago.
It goes from a couple months to a year.
Yeah, a year ago. That's back when Polar was with us. Whenever I was trying to get into it when I found out about the land, but
Rest his soul.
rest his soul.
I'm just kidding, guys. He's not dead.
Pray for. I was killing myself if he don't come back. No, but the one that I have is okay. But the one that I was reviewing when I shot this thing, it felt like it was right. It felt like I met my soulmate.
Wow.
And this is a Browning X2 Speed.
Whoa.
Yep. The X1 is okay. It's nice. But I got to say I love this X2 because it's light. It's less than 7 pounds.
Okay.
With bullets inside of it. And what I like about the Browning is you can get the specifications how you want to. So it's like normally if you buy a gun, you can get that gun, but it's only like one caliber, right? So you can only get 308 or you can get 6.5. It's going to have it in the name. Browning is one of the only ones that you can get the Browning X2 Speed with the 243 Winchester, 6.5 Creedmoor, the 308 Winchester, 6.5, the 6.8 Western, the 270 Win Mag, the 30-06, the 7mm. You can go all of these with you'll be able to shoot that gun with this. And with all of very, very like different sizes, because some of them is 22 inches, the other one's 24. 24, you have more accuracy further out you get, but it's still okay, right? Like it still has that stopping power that you want with a gun that you hunting with. And this one is great because if you're outside and it's raining, normally some guns, especially the ones back from like the 2010s, they'll have bluing coating or it'll have the little it'll be sterling silver.
Okay.
And so if it rains, if any moisture gets on it, it'll rust. Which mine happened to do whenever you and my wife went out there and shot. Like it wasn't even raining super hard. It was just sprinkling and just a little bit of water got on the barrel. And when I took it home, then next day I opened it back up and it was rusting.
Already that
quick. So there was nothing on there to keep it from from rusting. So I was like, bro, this sucks. So with this one, you can put it underwater as long as you don't put it inside the barrel itself, because I think the barrel has to have whatever coating that is, but the outside is fine. You don't have to worry about that.
How about that?
But I went and I tried out the 308 because my gun at home, the Savage 308, is. I love it. I freaking love it. I can pick up and I can pick it up and shoot while standing and still be pretty accurate with it because it's light. But this one, bro, it's a different story. And everything, whenever you chamber a weapon, it feels like butter when it goes right in there. It's like I love it. And it doesn't have much squeezing power. So that's great too. But if anybody knows anything about Browning is pretty much their reputation is like Bret Hart. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Oh, I was going to say got kicked in the head.
But yeah, I think that is one of their mottos, is best there is, because, I mean, they've been around since the early 1800s, and they had so much to do with innovating weapons, especially hunting for elk and deer, because I think that's what they wanted to continue with their research on. So I'm pretty sure you guys seen the little thing right there. It's like a buck looking left, and on the inside it looks like a doe inside of a buck. A little symbol. But I've seen it on so many shirts here in Tennessee. You know, you've seen people with, you know, camouflage and stuff like that. So you've seen this. But yeah, the only problem with this one is the price, I think. Because if you are the best there is, best there was, the best there ever will be, you're going to have that price tag. Yep. And that is $1,469 to $1,549. But you can go to a couple of places, and I'm pretty sure they'll have them because it just came out this year, and you'll be able to shoot it for easy $70.
There it is.
Yeah. But yeah, the owner, his name was John Moses Browning. He was born here in Tennessee, and just like everybody at the time, they sought out life in the West, which eventually had him set up in Nauvoo, Illinois, where he opened up a shop, him and his dad. And at the young age of around 13 or 14, his dad let him come up with different ways to better improve different guns. And at one point, he came up with something brilliant, and they sold about 600 rifles with this. Damn. And so the dad let him be a part of the business after he's like, okay, this works. Yep. But then after that, he started to make way more popular weapons. The Model 1886, the Model 1892, 1887. There's a shotgun called the Model 94. Theodore Roosevelt, he actually bought a couple of weapons from this guy.
I know about that.
And his favorite weapon was the 1895. Yeah. So even old Teddy Roosevelt, he loved some Brownings up in here.
Is that the overweight president?
No, this is the president that...
That's not the one that got stuck in the bathtub, was it?
No, I don't think it was him. This is the one whose nickname is Teddy Bear. This is what the teddy bear... His name was what the teddy bear was made for, so... Yeah. But at the turn of his century, he was licensing and innovating new guns with groundbreaking work with automatic firearms, self-loading pistols like the BAR, the M2 machine gun, and the 1911 pistols, which we all love 1911 pistols. They're just hard as hell to dismantle and put back together. But yeah, like I said, they're called the best there ever was for a reason, and they've been around for over 150 years. And I say that will probably be my next hunting rifle whenever I get used to shooting animals, which I've never done before. So let me see if I can do that first and keep my stomach and my nerves down. And I will let you guys know when I buy my first Browning.
That was going to be my question. Is if you've never shot before, how you feel like you would think it will be after the first time.
I feel like, I don't know. I think there's something primal missing in today's society. And I feel like that's something that I can do that we used to do as you know, hunter-gatherers back in the day. We used to go out and eat we used to catch and eat our own food. So I feel like if I do that, I feel like more of a man that I can provide to my family.
Some people say that hunting is the way we communicate with God.
Another one that I missed.
That was a real life quote there. Oh, shit.
Jesus.
Well, we appreciate that, Grizz. That was a good little review there. Appreciate that. Telling us about that. Informational, for sure. We're going to move on to Panda Tales and tell you how Grizzly choked to death.
Sit back and prepare yourself for Panda Tales.
Hey, that music goes perfect with October.
Yeah, it does, man. It's a spooky. All them 90s Halloween decorations, they all made that same sound. But since we're on the subject of it, a killer clown, Pennywise, I thought we would give you A real story of a killer clown. And his name was John Wayne Gacy. Born 1942, died 1994. He was an American serial killer and sex offender known as the Killer Clown. His early life, he was born on March 17th, 1942 in Chicago, Illinois. He was raised in a middle-class family. He had a troubled relationship with his father, who physically abused him. You'll notice a little theme with people with troubles with their dads.
So is this actually like physical abuse, like angry hitting, or is it just considered like discipline nowadays?
I doubt there's a
It was actual
difference
physical
between abuse and discipline. His crimes, though, between 1972 and 1978, Gacy raped and murdered at least 33 young men and boys, mostly teenagers. Most victims were lured to his home or abducted at gay bars. Gacy would dress as Pogo the Clown for charity events and children's parties. The investigation and arrest on December 1978, police investigated Gacy for missing person reports, found human remains under his home's crawl space, and then arrested him on December 11th, 1978. The trial and conviction on 1980, he was convicted of 33 counts of murder and sentenced to death. The execution was taken place on May 10th, 1994. He was executed by lethal injection at Stateville Correctional Center. There are some notable facts about Gacy here. Gacy's wife, Carol, was completely unaware of his crimes. He was a member of the JCs, which is the Junior Chamber of Commerce, and received awards for community service. Gacy claimed to have multiple personalities, including Pogo. His case led to changes in Illinois sex offender registration laws. His psychological analysis, he was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder. He showed no remorse for his crimes. He blamed his alternate personalities for the murders. And the legacy he leaves behind, John Wayne Gacy's case shocked the nation due to his dual life as a respectable citizen and serial killer, inspired numerous books, films, and documentaries, and he remains one of the most infamous serial killers in American history. That was my first story there. What do you think about old John Wayne Gacy?
Well, my thing is that how did he just get diagnosed with that antisocial thing? If he has multiple personalities that he truly believes, how did he not get diagnosed with other things?
I don't know. I don't know if he really
actually had multiple personalities. He just kind of like
he ever went to the doctor and got diagnosed. I think it's like after he got arrested, they were like asking him questions and stuff. I don't think anything before. But the second story,
I'm still curious about the wife.
I am titling The Invasion of Crescent Cove. It's a short story about Mike and Debbie here. Crescent Cove is a small coastal town that was never prepared for the night that these creatures came. These killers. It started with, like a shooting star going across the sky, like a make-out point. Mike Tobacco and his girlfriend Debbie Stone witnessed the impact. Curious, they investigated the crash site and discovered what they thought was just like a normal little carnival. Everything was going great. But it was just these bizarre characters in there. Nobody was acting quite right. Nobody's moving quite right. And they just deemed them clowns. But they were armed with powerful weapons, like a ray gun looking. Sorry, I should have been clear. This was based in, the story comes out of the 60s, late 60s, early 70s. So these, you see something, you believe it. So they were just seeing these things, going inside these tents and stuff and seeing things until they noticed dead bodies inside. These people were harvesting fellow humans and just in these nasty, I don't know, they called them cocoons. And it was just weird stuff, and Mike and Debbie end up joining forces with Officer Dave Hansen and some ice cream truck vendors, Randy, to stop these creatures. The group fought through so many of these people on the streets, dodging deadly shadow puppets and clown cars. As the night descended into chaos, Mike devised a plan. They would infiltrate the clowns' tent disguised as a big top and destroy their cotton candy making machine.
I can hear you breathe, deep breathing.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
You need a CPAP. Get off my mic. Yeah, dang.
I can just hear it in the back.
I'm doing. Whenever you hear me chuckle, that's when she hears me breathe. I'm not.
Okay. As the night descended into chaos, Mike devised a plan. They will infiltrate these tents and that was disguised as the Big Top and destroy their cotton candy making machine, the heart of their operation. Now, inside the ship, the group encountered the twisted clown leader, Fatso, in a final showdown. They just gave him these names. You don't really know these guys' names. Mike and Debbie defeated Fatso, destroying the machine and the clown's source of power. As the sun rose over Crescent Cove, the clowns dissipated into nothingness, leaving behind a town forever changed. Mike and Debbie shared a kiss, knowing their love had conquered even the most bizarre of invasions. Officer Hanson radioed in for backup, still unsure what to report, and Randy returned to his ice cream truck, pondering a new flavor. Killer Clown Cone. The camera panned out to the sky after this documentary ended, and yeah, everything was safe in the little town again.
Killer Clown.
Not supposed to say the name. Come on, man.
You a hater. You gotta let the people listen and know, just guess. They'll never know. Anyways, that's it for Panda Tales. So now we'll get into our movie review. But before we do, we always enjoy our movie review with an adult beverage. And this month's beverage is Captain Morgan's Rum. Unleash the pirate within. Introducing Captain Morgan, the legendary rum that's been making waves since 1944. This iconic spirit is inspired by the swashbuckling adventures of Henry Morgan, the infamous 17th century pirate. Smooth, rich, and full-bodied, Captain Morgan's premium rum blends the finest Caribbean spices, vanilla, and oak, creating a smooth, rich, and full-bodied taste. Savor the subtle hints of citrus, caramel, and toasted coconut, perfectly balanced to satisfy your taste buds. Captain Morgan does have a variety of brands. They have the original dark rum, classic, full-bodied and rich, the spiced rum, the private stock, coconut rum, and pineapple rum. You can mix it up.
They have regular apple too, and that's gross. Don't try that.
A couple of cocktail ideas are the Captain and Cola, Mojito Morgan, Pirate's Punch, and the Coconut Cove. So join the crew. Unleash your inner pirate with Captain Morgan. Share adventures, make memories, and savor the legendary taste. To the pirates and the spirits that guide them.
Arg.
Shiver me timbers.
I'll give you a little fact about Captain Morgan too, that this company is kind of shitty for. Is that the iconic symbol that you see of the pirate with his foot on the treasure chest? Somebody drew that, and they did not have they didn't copyright it before they sent it in. The company then say that, hey, you win, but we're not going to give you any money because you didn't copyright it. We copyrighted it.
Ooh.
And they sold billions of bottles without giving this person money.
Oh, that's fucked.
And he's still fighting for it now, I believe. But yeah,
I mean, how long has it been?
I think it's been out for a while, dude.
Yeah. Since 1944.
90s, right?
I think they said 1944. Hold on.
Well, I bet he learned his lesson to make sure that shit copyright before he does something again.
1944.
And since 1944.
I don't know if they had that image since 1944, but yeah.
Dang, that sucks.
Well, it sucks for him.
Yeah. And they're going to use this forever now because they never had to pay for it.
Right.
They don't have to pay royalties or nothing.
How about that? Well, let's go ahead and get into it.
Why are you guys anywhere?
We're sort of a club. Yeah, the Losers Club.
You want in? Yeah, I do.
Hey, we're 7 now. Lucky 7. I want to kill it.
I just want to forget about it.
It's not just us. It's all the other kids, too. Who's gonna be next? It kills kids, damn it! You killed my brother George, you bastard! Let's see you now.
Maybe it's the water.
The water. Maybe it's the sewer.
Hi, Georgie. You're not real! You're not real!
Was it Pennywise?
They
white guy, red nose, about 75 feet tall, mouth full of razor sharp teeth.
You smell that? That's death. Losers fight it. Losers die.
They all flow.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a creepy ass trailer. Didn't find any. I mean, there's a bunch of movies that Captain Morgan has been in, but I was ill prepared for this. I'm sorry. I'll update you next month on Captain Morgan and whatever alcohol we're doing next month. But where to watch Stephen King's It? You can watch this on HBO Max as of October 2024, or you can buy it on physical or digital.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, it's on HBO Max now. It's directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, who also directed Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, Aloha, Summer, Fright Night Part 2, Far From Home, and Vampires Los Muertos.
Never seen none of those.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. It was the only Halloween movie that didn't have anything to do with Michael Myers. Weird stuff. But this movie is starring Harry Anderson, Dennis Christopher, Richard Masur, Annette O'Toole, Tim Reed, Richard Thomas, Seth Green, and Tim Curry. It came out November 18th, 1990. Other movies that came out in November of 1990 was Jacob's Ladder, Child's Play 2, Dances with Wolves, Home Alone, Rocky 5, Predator 2, Misery, and Three Men and a Little Lady.
Man, all of them except for the last one. Nobody don't know that.
They had a lineup. They had quite the lineup in November of 1990.
That's crazy, though. The next two movies that we're doing came out in the same month.
Yep, that's true. And we've also did another movie that came out in 90. Because I remember reading these movies before. I don't know why. Anyways, it had a $12 million budget, but because this original showing was a TV special and not released in theaters, it didn't make any actually money in theaters. However, it did attract 30 million viewers for the TV special.
So with it being a TV special, was that like part 1, part 2 type thing? Or is it the full?
Yeah, it was part 1, part 2.
Okay.
How much were the movies back in the day?
Oh, shit, I don't know.
Let's say about $5, right?
Sure. I mean, it started at 75 cents, so it had to get to $5 at some point.
I think in the 90s, yeah. So let's say $5 times 30 million. That's how much it made.
There you
go. I was just about to ask that. How much money? But $12 million?
To make this movie?
Yeah.
No, I guess it wasn't that much back in the day. I mean, with the animatronics they had here, I guess it's not horrible.
Maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. After watching it, I wonder if a lot of that kind of went to the actors. Because, I mean, Tim Curry, he's pretty famous, right? The other people, I'd have never watched them, never seen them act ever.
Was he famous back in the day?
But Tim Curry, I thought he was pretty...
Yeah, he was in
pretty big.
What's the one where everybody cross-dresses?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Damn it.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I was thinking about Mrs. Doubtfire.
No. He does cross-dress, but not that one, no. But Tim Curry's he's a big deal in that one. I don't know if it came out before or after this. But this movie is about the plot, and the plot is... A group of 7 preteen outcasts known as the Losers Club discover Pennywise, the dancing clown, a demonic clown who can transform into their worst fears and kill them. The Losers Club are bullied by a gang of greasers led by Henry Bowers. And that was I guess the younger ones, the Losers Club, reunite as adults after...
30 years?
Yeah. And they defeat Pennywise after he returns to their hometown of Derry, Maine.
Wait, that's literally the plot? It tells you that Pennywise gets defeated?
I mean, they don't tell you the plot. The plot tells you the whole thing. I just try to shorten it up.
Oh. I was about to say, then what's the point of watching the fucking movie if you know at the end that he gets defeated?
I mean, I don't know who reads the plot before they go into a movie. I don't really care about it that much, then you just stay at home. We start off pretty direct with the It title flashing on the screen, and then we go to the nice little town where it seems to be, rained or have rained, or is about to rain. There's a little girl on a tricycle singing the Itsy Bitsy Spider song, and her mom is telling her, "Come on in, it's about to storm."
Okay, already my first hindsight is I would not be leaving my child in the front yard
Hold on, guys.
by herself.
This was the 90s where they didn't give a fuck.
And that's why her child got fucking eaten and taken
They
and
didn't care.
killed.
As long as you wasn't in my way, you can go do whatever. Because I remember back in the 90s, I was going everywhere in Nashville. You know, it was this dude that used to take boys' booties. And we never seen him, luckily. But yeah, we had the danger of a serial killer in Nashville.
Yeah, no, I would definitely.
Dan the Booty Man.
No. Definitely not leave my child alone.
And she goes to put her tricycle up, but she finds a little doll, and when she does, she hears this laugh. And she looks over at the hanging bed sheets from like the clothesline they had back in the day, and she stares at it for a little while until she sees a clown. And he says, "Hi." But then we see the covers go over him, and he kind of disappears, or his face. So we see the cover come back, and we see his face. He gets real mean. He ain't looking smiley no more. And then it's like the camera charges forward. And so I guess we'd assume that the clown had ended up grabbing the girl. The mom comes out a little later to take more clothes off the clothesline and notices that the girl's gone. And her tricycle is on the ground.
Wheel just a turning.
Just a turning, like somebody snatched her off the track.
Even though she set it down already. Like she already had it on the sidewalk away from it.
Yeah, you know. So, like, she was going real fast in that tricycle or something. Maybe she tried to get away. Maybe she tried to pedal on out of there and it didn't work out. But the girl was not taken because it becomes clear to us after we see the mother screaming, and the next scene is when a stretcher is being covered. What am I trying to say?
Or a dead body. Covered a dead body.
Yeah, and they're putting her into the meat wagon, the ambulance there, to take her off.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, it's the meat wagon. Take it away. But we do see this black guy, and it's kind of just staring away from all of it and looking off in the distance, standing in the rain, and he reaches down and picks up a little doll. And the police officer comes over there and says, your chief's going to have a cow if he knows you're moseying around out here. So he's not supposed to be there. For sure. And one of the detectives comes up and says, I told you to stay out of this. And the black guy says, I'm just a concerned citizen. Can you just try to tell him what's going on? And the detective kind of blows it off. It's nothing, you know. It's just he's trying to make up these excuses as what's really going on. And then the black guy's like, really? This is like happened so many times over in Derry, and you think it's that?
Yeah, I don't understand, first off, how... Well, is this kind of like a racial thing? Because with it being the guy being black, he's behind the caution tape. So, I mean, he's able to be standing there and asking. He doesn't have to ask questions, but he's allowed to stand there. So it's kind of weird that they kind of straight up to him. But then also, it's kind of weird that the chief of police is just kind of disregarding. This little girl's dead, and there's been how many else?
Yeah, I think it was like 4 or 5 missing kids. So I'm thinking that he has been to all of the crime scenes trying to get some information, but it's like, bro, that's not the good thing to do. With like, bro, how do you know that this is where all the kids are?
You kind of already get a feeling that something's off with the town and with the police, because you would think that they'd be way more concerned about these things and disappearances and deaths.
Well, they let him know that he's just a librarian, not a cop. And he's about to walk away when he sees a picture of a kid. And he says, Georgie? And then we hear him narrating, saying that May 28th, there was another killing today, but this time there was something more, something that makes my skin crawl. A picture that no, it couldn't have been there. It's time to tell the others what's happening. I can't put it off any longer, but I hope I'm wrong. Oh, I hope to God I'm wrong. And next, we see a guy who is writing a book, typing it on a computer or something. He's doing some kind of work here. And his girlfriend or wife comes up and calls him Bill. And he says, come on down. And he's like, yeah, in a minute, okay. But I guess she's upset about it. And she's like, bro, you said that an hour ago. Come on down to eat, or I'm going to throw this slop at your face.
At that point in time, just leave him be. Like, he's busy working. He's busy typing. Like, leave him be. He will eat when he eats.
It's like a genius coming out of my fingertips.
Right.
Get out of my face.
Well, he finally comes down because he's been putting dinner off for hours now. So it turns out he's writing a script for a movie, and Audra, his wife, doesn't want him really doing it because it's taking a lot of his time. And she lets him know that we don't really have to do this. You know, we're not hurting for money. And the phone starts to ring, and he goes and gets it, and he thinks it's the director, but it's actually Mike Hanlon, the librarian we saw from earlier.
Back me.
Yeah. And he says, I need you back in Derry. And that's when Bill has this flashback of when they were kids, and they all promised to come back. And Bill says he didn't know who Mike was for a second. And then Mike tells him that it's back. Bill kinds of stutters and says, are you sure?
Yeah, his stuttering looks like a very, very painful process that he's trying to... I feel like that's either poor acting, because there has been people... I've seen people stutter, and it don't look painful. He makes it look painful.
Well, you know how he learned how to do it. He's kind of a method actor. So actually, he went to a speech therapist-like class where there was a bunch of people who had the same issue, which was stuttering, because some people were having Tourette's. He had to, weed them out. But he would just sit and join them. He would, monitor them, mimic them, watch them, observe them. And he went full retard. He went all the way. Everybody knows you don't go full retard. Walk away empty-handed. And that's when Bill stutters and says, "Are you sure?" And Mike says, "Yeah, I found a photograph of George." And Bill goes back to his wife and tells her that, well, actually don't say nothing. He just kind of walks in there all somber like, and she's like, "Who was that?" And he was like, "Nobody."
Why did I always say that?
It was the wrong number.
Bitch, you was in there for 20 minutes.
And your mood completely changed, and it wasn't nobody. God dang. And he tells her that he has to go back to work, and he goes back up to his room. He closes the door and says, "Georgie," and starts to have another flashback.
I feel like something's wrong. They snipping at each other. Something wrong with their marriage or something. Either they're not happy or they're not communicating something.
I think it's communication. But also, he did, I didn't think that it was his wife, because it's like later on in the movie, something happens, and I'm just like, bro, what did you do?
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Well, in this flashback that he has, we see their house, and their mom is playing the piano, the Feu de Lis song, on the piano right next to this huge heater, this old metal heater they used to have back in the day. I remember them at schools.
I remember that shit.
Man, they used to have these big ass fire hazard things.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell we talking about.
I mean, y'all are only like 4 to 5 years older than me, and I didn't have those in the schools.
Yeah, well, you were raised in a box, so
I mean, that's true. I did go to elementary school that only had like 10 kids in it, and we were the same kids from kindergarten to 5th grade. Old country school.
Well, the big iron metal things that just give off heat just a little bit. You better not touch them, because they'll burn your ass. I don't see how they heated the whole room, though, with these things. But anyway, Bill's upstairs, and he's sick. And his brother George is wanting to play with him so bad. He wants them to tell him something about a magic stone story, and Bill tells him to go bother somebody else. And he doesn't feel so hot. But Bill ends up giving his little brother a paper boat that he had made. And George asked if he can go sell it right now. But Bill says, no, we have to seal it first. We need the paraffin. It's in the basement. So Georgie goes downstairs. He's kind of scared to go in the basement, but he ends up going down there and grabbing it anyway.
I feel like they could have taken that scene out. It was kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, because there was nothing ever in the basement. So he went down there, grabbed it, came back up, and they seal it. That way the water can't get in it, and they can actually stay on top of the water instead of absorbing the water. So George has his little yellow raincoat on, and he's about to go outside, and he kisses Bill on the cheek and says, "Oh, you gave me cooties. Get out of here." It's terrible kid acting. Georgie was way better than Bill. But anyways, before Georgie leaves, Bill's like, "Hey, be careful, Georgie." And then Georgie is seen putting the boat into like a little gutter on the side of the street, and the water is running down pretty good. So it had just rained, or it's still raining, and it's actually working. The boat's floating, and he just keeps running all the way down the street, following this as far as it goes.
Which, pause, you see, was it yellow construction?
Yeah, it's like some roads are closed,
but there's like a fireball pit thing by every single one of them, because that whole entire scene there was like 2 like on each end.
And I imagine this is because it's back then, so we didn't have like portable lights to actually stick on these. Nowadays we have roadblocks that have the lights attached to them, or at least reflectors. Back then they did not, so I imagine they had these little ball canister things filled with kerosene that would just burn a flame that would flicker and hopefully get people's attention as to not go down this road. Don't hit this big yellow block thing.
But it wasn't dark.
Well, I mean, nobody comes out there and lights them every night. They just light them and let them go and burn for as long as they burn.
So you think that was like a legit thing that construction people did, or do you think that was just a prop that was supposed to be for the movie that they kind of like
this was set in like the 50s, right? Or 40s, 50s or something like that?
When they were kids, yeah, I think 50s.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, I can see that. But
okay.
The boat, the SS Georgie, ends up going down into a storm drain. And he looks down in there and he can't see it. So he's pretty much considered a loss, and he starts to leave when a clown pops up from the inside the storm drain.
So already, as a kid, seeing a clown, seeing any damn body in a storm drain, you best believe I'm fucking running, screaming away. That ain't normal.
Whoa. So you gotta think, too. This was back in the 50s where clowns were entertainment.
That's right. They're the best thing around.
Every time the circus came in town, everybody went to go see him.
But in a sewer drain?
But it don't matter, bro.
You kidding me?
These dudes are colorful.
Imagine your grandfather coming home. He knows the circus in town. Maud, you better get your clothes on, honey. We're going downtown. We're going to see the circus. They got the juggler in there. Yeah.
Not
They got the juggler, the smuggler. Now.
Yeah, they got them all, honey. Come on.
Not no
I
damn sewer
backhanded
drain.
you yesterday. We're going to make up for it. Get you a nice milkshake.
You fucked up.
Well, the clown says, "Hiya, Georgie. Aren't you going to say hello?" And Georgie shakes his head and is like, no, and then says that his dad says, "I shouldn't talk to strangers."
Valid.
And the clown says, "Oh, that is very wise of your dad, Georgie. Very wise indeed. Well, Georgie, I'm Pennywise, the dancing clown, and you're Georgie. So now we know each other, correct?" And Georgie says, I guess so, but I gotta go." And Pennywise says, "Go? Without this?" And he shows him his boat. And he says, "Come on, take it, Georgie. Take it." Pennywise says, "You want it, don't you, Georgie? There's popcorn and cotton candy and rides down here too. All kinds of surprises and balloons." And Georgie says, Do they float?" And Pennywise says, "Yes, they float, Georgie. They float." And Georgie starts to reach in his hand for the boat. And under there, Pennywise says, "And when you're down here with me, you'll float too." And he grabs Georgie's hand, and we see him, his teeth turned into these fang-like things. And the clown says,
His eyes changed colors too, or got contacts or something on him.
Yeah, and then he just
transformed, I guess. You want to say transformed?
It doesn't show it, but we assume that he just took Georgie. At least in the old one, for sure, I assumed that he had just took the boy. Because they didn't show anything after that. They just showed him about to bite his arm, and that's it.
I wonder if it's just the olden times, they couldn't be that gory. Because it wasn't too gory. I mean, there was blood in this movie, but it's not like you've seen a wound and a guzzard of or gushing blood come out of that wound.
Yeah, I'm assuming they can't show too much blood on TV since this wasn't in the theater. So yeah.
Well, the next scene is of a casket at Georgie's funeral. So we see that Pennywise is actually leaving bodies and not taking them, because I was in the assumption that he would take kids,
right?
But he left the last two bodies at least.
But I did notice at the very corner of the left of the casket, the silver handle was just going in circles, but the casket itself was not lowering down. So it was just going in circles.
See that. It was a top view of the casket.
You would be able to see it go down.
But it wouldn't look like it. I don't know. You might have to change that one. I don't know.
Well, it's not a hindsight.
But we're at the funeral, and there's a bunch of Bill's friends there. And later on at Bill's house, he finds an old photo album of Georgie, and he starts to look through it. And when he does, the picture of Georgie winks at him, and he gets freaked out and drops the book. And it starts flipping pages and goes right back to that same picture. And then that picture starts to bleed.
I noticed that picture looked a lot larger when it was on the floor, when it was bleeding, than when he actually had it in his hands.
You don't quit playing with this nitpickety bullcrap.
Hey,
Get on
I gotta nitpick it. This is a movie.
I noticed that when he blinks, his left eye closes slightly faster than his right. Anyways, Bill screams, and his parents come in there, and they say, "What's going on?" And the mother picks up the album, disregarding the blood completely, and puts it back on the shelf.
Even though it's all over her hands.
It's as if the parents can't see the blood. And the dad asks, "What are you doing in Georgie's room?" And he says, I don't want you ever in here again."
Which is
do you understand?
Stupid. That's so stupid.
That's...
How can I not come in here? I want to grieve my little brother.
Exactly. That's
Bill
literally
says,
my hindsight. I wouldn't refuse the kid not to come into his dead brother's room. That might help with his grief.
Well, Bill says, "Okay, like a good boy." And his mother puts the album back, and she walks out too.
She walks out sobbing.
We go back to the present day Bill, where his wife is surprised that he's leaving, but he says there's something he has to do. And she asks, who was on that phone? And he says he'll tell her the truth about everything, about Mike, his brother, Georgie, and that his brother was murdered And he says he has to go back because he made a promise. And he starts to stutter more, and she wants to know more about it. And she says that if you're going back, I'm going with you. And he tells her to promise me. You promise me that you'll stay here.
But you know women, they want to argue.
Yeah, how you going to argue with a stutterer? You know how long it's going to take?
Yeah.
No, well, first of all, like, he's just now stuttering. He's not. But I feel like she's trying to be there for him emotionally and physically.
And he's trying to be there for her.
But also at the same time, he said he forgot all about Georgie and Mike and things like that. So my brain automatically like, okay, like, did they not grow up together after whatever happened 30 years ago? And then he forgot about Georgie being murdered, but she already knew about George. So did he just say, oh, my little brother died, but he didn't know the details of it?
I think you're figuring this out for yourself.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
But, like, don't say he forgot and then...
Well, like later on in the movie says, like, whenever you leave town, it's like a veil goes over your mind, so you forget important stuff.
Yeah, they explain the memory thing.
Yeah.
We'll get into that a little later, too. But he gives her a hug, and then he says, I love you, and then he leaves. But next, we're in New York City. We left Bill in England. I forgot to tell you that. He was in England, being a writer there for a script, a movie. Now we're in New York City, where a limo is pulling up to the side of this building, and a guy gets out with his fancy award, and it drops onto the ground, and he says, oops. And the lady's like, oh no, Ben, your architecture award, and you just received it. This is where we just were 5 minutes ago. We were at the awards for architecture. I guess she's really just explaining, giving it all to us where they were at. So yeah, he don't really care. He doesn't seem to really care about that award.
I feel like he could just super glue it.
Yeah, and
They didn't have super glue back in the day.
Good plan. He was like, we got ourselves a real tragedy. This is American tragedy. So yeah, he don't really give a damn about that. But he gives the limo driver the rest of his wine and opens up this garage on the side of the building, which leads to his penthouse suite.
Which they're walking really weird. Like, how much alcohol do you have to ingest?
A lot.
For his walk to be so
if you're
janky.
the architecture of a building, you just live there?
Yeah. If you design it, you stay there free.
I guess.
Them the rules. Well, him and his lady are super drunk and they're having a good time. And she's impressed by all this stuff, which I got to say, I was impressed by the lamp they had on the wall. It was of a suit hanging.
Yes.
And then there was 3 hats. They were all lamps or lights. So that was pretty cool.
Which, for being an architect, it's a very designer type feel of the house. I feel like that's a completely different industry. Like, I don't know. I was thinking completely different what an architect would live in, but go on.
Well, she's impressed by all of the stuff that's in there, and he is impressed by her body. And she's like, oh yeah, I like yours too. And he tells her, he said, you know, I used to be fat. And she's like, I bet you was real cute. He said, no, I was a real butterball.
I don't understand. Like, he's trying to fuck this lady. Why in the hell is he talking about him used to being fat? Like, that's not attractive. Like, just shut up and kiss the woman.
You know, well, they start to make out when the telephone rings.
Ooh, also, sorry, did you notice that the telephone in the first scene, when they get in, it was in the far left side of the bed. And then when he answered it, it was on the far right side of the bed. The telephone moved.
Wow. Mm-hmm. He goes to answer it, and it's Mike. He calls him Haystack. And when he says it's Mike, Ben has a flashback of when a bully, or 3 bullies, were holding him down and waving a knife in his face. Mike tells him that it's come back and asks him, how much do you remember? And Ben says, very little, almost nothing. And Mike says, where will you come? And Ben says, yes, I will. And he goes back to the girl who's ready for some D. Mm-hmm. But kind of waves her off, and then he pours himself some alcohol, and she asks, are you okay? And he says, I don't think I am tonight, or something like that. Not at all. And she says, are you going to kill yourself?
Dang, bro, these foreigners, man. These foreigners don't give a damn about suicide, bro.
She just automatically jumped to that conclusion.
But then what he said was darker too, though.
He was like, no, I don't think so. But I thought it might be better if I did.
Oh, I didn't catch that part.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then we see him going to the top of this building that's under construction, which I imagine he designed, and he stares off at the city below, pondering. And then we go to his flashback.
I'm curious, though. Does he change the location of his house every single time that he does a building?
Apparently, you get to stay there for free.
No, I was just bullshitting. He don't get a building every time. He has enough money to buy himself a penthouse suite. He's an architect.
Yeah, but like he's living at the very base of the building that he's building.
You don't know that. He just went to the garage. They didn't see you get in the elevator, go to the top of the place.
But the top of the place ain't all the way done. It don't look like it.
No, it's
He's
still
still
under
designing.
construction. That's
Not
why
that,
I took
not
it.
that place. Not the construction where he went to the ponder. The place where he got dropped off with a lady.
Oh, I took it as the place that he got dropped off is his home. The garage, you opened it. He went in. His big ass. It's not no penthouse. It's like at the very bottom floor. And then he just went into the elevator. You didn't see him drive anywhere. He just went into the elevator and went up. I took it as he's living at the very base of the building that he's under construction building.
I don't know. I didn't get that. I could have sworn there was some kind of skylight or window or something in that first scene. I don't know. But no, I know he went somewhere else for this other construction thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like I said, that building wasn't done.
No, I just
water would have come into it. That would have fucked his whole shit up. And he had a lot of lights and stuff, and that would have made sense. Well, it's a younger Ben, and he's being a new student in a school, and he's introducing himself. Some of the bullies are making fun of him for being fat already, and the teacher doesn't stop them.
Which I didn't think he was that fat. Like, he was a little chunky.
Husky. It was husky back in the day.
But I didn't
you
think...
get that right. Because I used to be husky as shit back in the day, and that's what the hell they used to call me.
Well, the teacher tells Ben to keep going, and Ben talks about his likes and hobbies, and the teacher welcomes him to dairy. When Ben goes to take a seat, he notices Beverly, and she smiles at him, and one of the bullies says, "What a porker." And the teacher says, "Henry Bowers, you will stay 1 hour every day this week." He says, "My father would tear my hide." And the teacher says, "You should have thought about that before you picked on Ben."
That is true.
And yeah, that's fucking terrible though, because he looks over at Ben and he's like, "You're as good as dead, fat boy."
Which, I mean, why didn't the teacher address it right then and there? Like, he's literally threatening this kid's life.
Well, he ends up walking out of the class, and the kid behind him says, "It's going to be some funeral for you." And the class continues. She lets the class know that there's a 7 p.m. curfew. It's been very dangerous, and the kids need to be careful. Ben starts to walk home after class, and Beverly comes up, and they have a little conversation, getting to know each other and being a little more friendly. But two girls come in and kind of interrupt them, get in between them, and say that
bitch move.
Some people have no class. Yeah, and some people have janitor as parents. And so, yeah, they're referring to as Beverly there.
Bitch.
But my thing is that, like, if they making money, like, so fucking what if the dad's a janitor? Like, it's a small town.
Kids don't know that, man. They don't care. They just know that janitors really don't make that much money. And say, hey, you have to clean up shit the rest of your life.
Nowadays, they've been making bank.
What janitor you know making bank?
I seen something that janitors make a pretty decent fucking money. I'm gonna Google that.
Don't do it, please.
I know if you own your own janitorial service, you get paid bank. But if you're a janitor, that's like $9 an hour, bro.
Oh, I take that back. I don't know where I don't know where the fuck I found that it's minimum wage. Never mind, I take that back. I take that back.
She says, "I'm Beverly," and Ben's walking off, and he just keeps repeating her name. Beverly Marsh.
Which is kind of creepy. But
he gets to a point on his way home where he sees two of the bullies, and he tries to go the opposite direction, but Henry Bauer catches him, and they push him up against this fence that the two punks start holding Ben, and Henry pulls out a knife.
Did he already do his hour after school? Like, did Ben?
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, did
Probably
Ben?
didn't stay. His dad is going to tear his hide, which would be worse than staying there.
But I mean, he's a thug, so he don't care about rules.
He's got a leather jacket. Leather jacket in the 50s? Oh, forget about it.
Slick back hair? Oh, jeez.
Don't mess with him. Well, he pulls out this knife and says, "I'm going to cut you." And as they lift up his shirt, about to cut him, one of the boys is like, "Hey, Henry, don't really cut him." And then Henry's like, "Don't really cut him. Don't really cut him. Shut it if I catch you." And then Ben reaches up and kicks Henry and breaks the fence that they were holding him against, and he falls down the side of the hill. He ends up running off into the wooded area while Henry Bowers is yelling, "I want to bury you." Ben sees a little culvert, like a tunnel, and he goes and hides inside there. And we end up seeing that the Henry boys are walking right past the tunnel. He's right at the edge of it. They should have seen him. But
Right.
His feet, because he had on white shoes.
Dude,
Right.
he was just sitting in the side of the tunnel. They walked past and missed him. But he ends up running in, after getting out of the tunnel, he ends up running into young Bill and one of his friends.
Which they were literally just right down the way. Like, they should have been able to see everything.
But the boys were trying to build a dam. But Henry and his bullies destroyed it. The little kid says, "You didn't have to do that. Why did you do that?" And Henry says, "Because I felt like it." And he pushes the kid down, and he took his inhaler. Bill says, "Leave him alone," but they tell him to shut up, you little freak. And he starts breathing real fast, the kid on the ground, because of his asthma. Henry tells him to quit, or he'll pull his ears down by his chin. And they say, "If you've seen that fat boy, you better be sure to let us know." And they leave. Before they do, one kid makes a nasty ass burp, and they label him Belch. That's when Ben comes out of the hiding hole and asks if they're gone. And Bill says, "Yeah, they're gone. You can stay here with my friend while I go get his medicine. Is that okay?" And Ben's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So the kids, they kind of chill out, start hanging out, get to know each other, and Ben just whips out a snack right in front of the kid, who's like having breathing problems. Like, "Hey, you want some?" "Okay, no, all right, that's cool."
Oh, I missed that. What was the snack?
Like a bag of something. I don't know, a bag of M&Ms or something. He was eating something.
Oh, I just remember them talking.
Fat boy shit.
I literally watched this movie like 3 or 4 times.
Later on, we see the kid telling Ben that his dad died of the Big C, cancer. And Ben says that my dad died too in Korea.
The Big C.
So who's the other guy? Bill comes back, and Ben has to be always stuttering.
Eddie saying that's Bill. He's always stuttering. And then his little brother, it's worse after his little brother Georgie died. Mm-hmm. But don't say anything about it or something. And
somebody pulled his arm right off.
They didn't say that.
Yeah, that's what Eddie says. Somebody pulled his arm right off.
Damn.
Sam, you're not paying attention to nothing.
I be paying attention to the wrong things, I guess.
Well, Bill comes back and he thanks Ben for staying with him, and Bill introduces himself and Eddie. Eddie says, "I hate when you're stuttering my name, Bill. You sound like Elmer Fudd." And Ben says, that's Porky Pig. Elmer Fudd has a lisp. It's Porky Pig that has a stutter. And they invite Ben back tomorrow because they're trying to build this dam. And Ben says, "Okay, I've got some materials and we can make it happen." And Bill says, "Yeah, we do it." And then Ben says, "Yeah," as they throw rocks into the creek. They're all just little kids doing their thing. Well, later on, Ben is in bed writing a note, and his cousin comes in and says, "What are you doing, cuz?" to establish that they are related.
How many times you go up to your cousin, "Hey, cuz, how you doing, cuz?"
Well, I mean, he actually does do that. Every single time he sees
That's
them.
why the hell I said.
But that's like the
But you don't do that shit
American
with your
Dad
sister
joke.
now.
Yeah, like the American Dad joke. He's like, "Yeah, sis, how you doing? Why'd I call you sis? Oh, I don't know." It's like that the audience know you're talking on the phone with your sis. So yeah, that was something. But the cuz ends up snatching the paper from him.
Dick move.
And he reads it, and he says, "Your hair is winter fire, January embers." And he takes the note back and starts punching his cousin, and his mom comes in and stops him. And
I think it's valid. I think it's 100% valid.
The cousin yells out, "I hate you! You're only here because your mom's away doing Christian duty." I guess the aunt is telling the mom that he needs some more discipline. His lack of control.
Yeah, because he's
It's not even just that. It's the fact that her child was being the dick, and he put his ass back in the place.
Parents like that only sees their child's
as an angel.
Oh, he's so sweet because he's sweet in front of me. He's not gonna be a dick to anybody else.
And even if he is a dick in front of them, they're like, "Okay, I guess they'll
boys will be boys."
That bullshit. I heard that too many goddamn times. And the mom comes up to Ben and says, "We'll have our own home one day, and I promise, Ben." And Ben says, I know. And she says, "As long as we're guests here, we got to live by their rules." And he says, "Well, that wouldn't treat us like that if Dad were still alive." And she's like, "You got to obey the rules." And Ben says, "I hate it here." And he just takes off running, jumps over this fence and gets on a bike and just scoots off.
Which, how many times has he jumped over the railing? Because, they're implying that he's super large.
He's large and in charge, I guess.
Back in the 50s, that was big, though.
Back in the 50s, fat kids could jump. Yeah. He goes down to the creek. Yeah, back in the 50s, being fat was 10 pounds overweight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he goes down to the creek where the guys were trying to build that dam, and he hears somebody yell or shout for him. He goes and
he's like, "Daddy,"
trying to investigate it, and he sees his dad. Mm-hmm. And he's over by this what they call the barrens,
and he's just floating on the water.
He's Jesus walking on water in full fucking army fatigue.
Yep.
In his army military suit. Yep. And he points at the little sewage processing thing and says,
That's where I live.
"That's my home now, son. Look."
Real shitty home, Dad.
And then he starts holding these balloons and he says, "Come on in here. You'll like it down here. You'll never have to grow up." And Ben kind of shakes his head and looks back, and it's Pennywise pointing and laughing at him. And then he fades away. And some kind of skeletal hand tries to reach out and grab him from the thing, and it almost grabs him, but it's like the whole skeleton starts popping up out of the water and says, "You'll float. They all float, fat boy. You'll float too."
I think where Pennywise fucked up and where I would do it differently, because he
hated
was
fat kids. Every
What?
chance he got, he called him a fat boy.
I mean, I guess he was trying to bully him, but no, he was enticing Ben to go into the sewer, and it seemed to be working. Like, he was like zoning in on his dad, trying to figure it out. I feel like if he just kept going with his dad's image and his voice, I think it would have been an easier thing. But he fucked up by changing his voice.
Well, you know what?
Oh,
Okay.
hold on.
Tell him.
How you get that fat kid is that you become Beverly. And then you say, "Hey, let's come down here." And then you go in there and you got him.
Yep.
Well, see, here's the problem with both of your guys' theory is that Pennywise isn't looking for the quick kill. He wants them scared first. I guess he's got an acquired taste for fear.
No,
so the more scared they are,
yeah,
the
See,
better they are for him.
then I think that's why they fucked up with this movie, is because the first two kills that you've seen, you only seen that he like jumped out and scared them and then killed them.
He jumped out and scared the little girl. It took a little longer with Georgie.
But Georgie wasn't.
He wasn't scared.
Right. He was having a conversation.
So this could be Pennywise trying to figure out his method of what makes these kids taste better. And he's learning its fear. And he's learning, okay, I need to play with him a little longer.
Okay.
Scare him a little longer. Do a little something else. And then boom.
Because that was the whole entire movie where I was like, why is he just picking on these 7 kids? I mean, he's obviously doing it with probably other kids, and you just don't know it. But that's where I was like, well, he's
Those
killing.
are the ones he got. But that's when we go back to Ben as an adult, and he's kind of freaking out about the whole situation, remembering everything.
At the very top of the fucking building.
Yep.
No windows, nothing.
We then see a woman answer the phone and say, "Beverly B, bada some bada boo," whatever kind of whatever business she had. And she says, "Hold on one moment, please." And we're in Chicago, Illinois, this kind of stylish office building where we see Beverly. And she's a secretary, or her secretary tells her that she's got a phone call from some guy in Maine. And some guy in the office says that we can't take the call, and tells the secretary to put the call on hold. Well, the secretary isn't his secretary, it's her secretary. So she waits for her call. And Baby's like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, we don't need no calls."
Well, no.
Okay.
No, because she said, yes, I'll take it. And that's when he's like, no.
Take this dick.
Right. And then that's when she seen that. No, that's when she contradicted herself because he was kind of being a dick about it.
Yeah, that was weird stuff. She agrees, and he kind of fluffs up her hair like the way he wants it. And he's like, "Don't touch it." Tells her that these Japanese people are coming, and you're going to show them around and hold up your side of the bargain. We're going to be rich, he says. "Kiss me for good luck." And she kisses him, and she sees him walk off, and she
flicks her hair back in defiance.
Yeah, but it didn't really last long because the next thing they're walking down the... Anyway, he says, "Okay, let's go." And he says, "Oh, by the way, don't ever contradict me in front of Pam again." And he leaves, and then that's when she flicks her hair back. But as we see them approaching the Japanese men, her hair is the way he wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, they were holding hands too. Like, that seems unprofessional.
So he might have gave her a little talking off screen, hey, I see your hair's back. You touched your fucking hair. But she says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm Beverly Marsh. This is my partner, Tom Rogan." And the Japanese men just look at her, and then they look at this, or she bows, and then they all look at this one gentleman, Japanese gentleman. He bows, so I guess that gives the approval that
they all bow.
Yeah, they all bow.
I wonder if that's a real Japanese thing. Like, yeah, you got to acknowledge the leader of the people, bow to him, and then after he bows, everybody else will do it to you.
Well,
maybe.
They are.
Is it a woman thing too?
They are very honored based for sure. So they have a system, and they don't feel like they're entitled to do any stupid shit that I deserve to do this. I can do what I want. No, they got a system. They're beautiful. I respect them for it.
So, side question.
When are we going to Japan, guys?
I don't know. That's a long flight. But side question with that, if a non-Japanese person bows, do they feel that that's disrespectful? Like they're kind of like...
I don't think it's a sign of respect over there.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like them mocking them in a way, so I didn't know if it took it that way.
I think if you do the stereotypical like Asian accent and then you bow, then I'd be like, they're gonna be like, fuck this dude.
Brandon or Panda. You always be changing your accents.
I'll be doing that.
100%.
Very respectful.
100%.
Because I know, like I remember watching this video where this dude was just, man, he was talking bad to Japanese people and they wouldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And it took another American dude to be like, bro, that's disrespectful. What are you doing? And he was like, fuck you. And dude just clocked him in the face. And then he slowed down for a little bit until he got knocked out again by another American. But these Japanese people, man, they put up with some disrespect. I don't know why though.
Well, then we see that guy laying down in bed. I guess after beating the brakes off old Beverly, he's pouring a glass of wine or champagne, and she gets a phone call from Mike.
Well, it seems like they were celebrating. Like it seemed like their meeting went great
lot of
and
money.
all that stuff.
Yeah, so he went to go get more wine from the refrigerator, and as he did, she answered the phone. And when she answered, it was Mike.
Which, why didn't he just call the house in the first place? Like, why did he go through
He
her?
probably did. There's nobody home.
Just leave a
Question though, if she forgot about him, well, I guess not. How would he know like her office number and home number?
Oh, bro, Yellow Pages.
I forgot about Yellow Pages. But it's Yellow Pages for your area. It won't be Yellow Pages for... Was it
Google back then? 1950s?
Was it Operator back in the day?
Probably Operator.
I'm sure you can call 411 and find out where Beverly, whoever she was.
Well, also, it seems like he does remember things, so I'm assuming he's been keeping track of all these people.
No, he's never left, so he knows everything.
Yeah.
So he's probably been keeping track of everybody this whole entire time.
Well, she don't really know who it is, but he says it again, and she says, yes, I remember you. And as the guy who was going to get wine, he pops the cork, started drinking. Now the bottle comes back, and he says, Beverly? And she's getting her clothes ready. And
how in the hell does she... How long did it take for him to walk downstairs to get some more champagne, to walk back up? And she's already changed her whole entire outfit, already got her suitcase, already half filled, putting more shit in it. Like, was he gone 5-10 minutes? Like, what the heck?
Maybe I'll take a shit. She says, I know you don't think this is crazy, but I've got to go to Maine. It's hard to explain. Mike Hanlon, and she says, oh, and it's an old friend. I have to go. And he slaps her and tells her to shut up. He says, he made the deal of a lifetime, and you want to leave to Maine?
Which, did he make the deal or did she make the deal?
He says, it's time for you to learn your lesson. Yeah, and he takes off his belt.
He didn't take off his belt. He went and got a belt.
I guess you forgot about this, huh? So he went to the cupboard.
she says, put that away.
No.
So she has gotten it before.
Yeah.
She says, put that away.
Sorry, in these scenarios, for a grown-ass man to beat a grown-ass woman, is that in a spanking manner on belting her ass, or is that just like belting her back type of thing?
Would you like to find out, Panda?
No.
Demonstrate?
That's right. You better listen. She said, I got to get out of here as fast as I can.
That answered the question. Okay.
There's some trouble. It's very bad trouble. When somebody describes something as very bad trouble. I don't
believe that.
I'm with you on that one. But then she hears Mike's voice say it. It came back. It's come back. And he says, take your clothes off and get in the bed. And maybe you can leave this house in 2 days instead of 2 weeks. And she starts freaking out.
Does she have to be beaten to not be able to leave for 2 weeks?
Well, she starts freaking out and throwing all kinds of shit at him. And then she hits him in the head
with a fucking lotion.
With a bottle of some lotion. And knocks him straight to the floor. And she goes over and grabs her suitcase and stuff and closes it up. And she says, listen, if you ever come near me again, I will kill you. Do you understand me? I will kill you. And I think at this point she remembers who she used to be. I think that phone call from Mike, it clicked in her that she used to be, she wasn't no bitch back in the day.
She'd be fearless.
Yeah. And when that thing and Mike, she got into her head and was like, oh, I'm not like this. I'm not some weak little girl. I remember who I was. I'm my old self. Motherfucker, you come near me again, I will stab you in the neck with a knife. That's right. Or a soldering iron.
So I wonder if though how that was gonna work. Is that her house or his house?
It don't matter no.
Because like at this point in time, she's just leaving him there. Her shit's about to be fucked up.
Yeah. She gets into the cab and tells the cab driver, O'Hare, please. And she says, I need to go to Maine. And the cab driver says, okay, we'll find the one airport that goes to Maine. He says, what's in Maine? And she says, old friends and family.
Best I've had.
Then she starts to have her flashback.
Yeah. Speaking of that, real quick, if y'all need a soldering iron, I got you. I got one.
I've heard about a soldering iron, but what do you use that for?
For like electronics, if something has like a loose wire or something like that, you can fix it up.
You got the wrong tone. You do it again, I'm gonna stab you in the neck with a soldering iron.
What's that from?
Get out of here.
Yeah. And we see Beverly setting up lunch or dinner or something, and she looks outside because she hears a knock and finds a note at her door. And we see Ben hiding behind 3 blades of grass.
Yeah, for real. How did he think?
Bro, he got a red plaid shirt on. Big as the damn grass he's behind.
Yeah. How the hell did he think that was going to cover her? And how did she not see him?
Oh, man, she didn't see him. But she ends up reading a poem, and it says, your hair is winter fire, January embers. My heart burns there, too. And that's when Dad comes home and says, who's at the door, baby? And he says, let me see that. And he reads the poem, and he says, are you doing something you shouldn't? You been fooling around with some boy? Poetry for some boy? He says, I worry about you a lot, baby. Sometimes I worry a lot. And she says, Daddy, please. And he smacks her in the mouth.
Damn.
Damn. She used to getting smacked. Mm-hmm. She been smacked all her life. She starts to walk off, and he says, don't make me go over there and collect you. And she says, no. And she takes off running and runs outside and runs away. And he starts yelling at her, I want to whip the skin off you. Now she just takes off running out the house.
Is if he actually wanted her, bro, he was close enough to grab her hair, her arm, or something.
Because they met up at the front door.
There's a couple of these chases where that shit happened. It's like, bro, I got my hands on you. You right here.
So my thing is, in this movie, it just seems like it's an abusive relationship. In the newer version, I got the vibe of a sexual relationship. Yeah.
But even this one, there was a couple of times where the dad would just be like, yeah, well, do this. And he'd be like, you're so pretty.
Yes,
like,
I couldn't.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to explain it. But he would put his hand on her chin and was like gently caressing. It's like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, so I didn't know if they couldn't really sexually imply it in this one because it's an older movie.
Bro,
if it was,
this was the time to do it. This was the 90s. Nobody cared about it. Bullcrap. Now they care about it.
Right.
Well, he doesn't give chase. He just goes back inside and was like, oh, she'll be back. But the whole thing, like, I don't know, that caused Ben to follow after he's seen her run out and she's over sobbing and
behind some bushes.
Yeah, some ones you can actually hide behind. And Ben's like, I should have thought about this.
That's a good spot.
And he asks her if she's okay, and she says, haven't you got anything better to do than sneak up on people? And Ben invites her to the Barrens and introduces her to Eddie and Bill.
Which I would think that they would already know each other because weren't they in the same damn class? And he's the only new kid, so everybody else already fucking knows each other.
They weren't friends, though, before. But Bill and her have like this little moment of staring there, a little, you know what I'm saying? A little look. Ben says that Bev wants to help. I hope it's okay. I mean, she's a girl, Bill said. Sure. That's when the 2 other kids, Richie and Stan, and they show up, and Richie seems to be the funny guy.
Which I don't think I laughed once with anything that he said.
You're a hater. And he's got high energy, and Stan seems to be the opposite. He's real uptight, more serious. And Richie asks, how does he know that the dam will work? And Ben says, he just does. And they all agree, yeah. And they all start working on building it. And they have this nice little montage of them all working together, building a friendship while also building a dam. While Richie keeps calling Ben Haystack. That's where he first got that at. Well, later on, Ben, Beverly, and Bill, all of those bees, are walking home, and he says...
Walking to her home.
Yeah, and Bill says to Beverly, I'll see you later, alligator. And she says, after a while, crocodile.
Right in front of her front door, which I'm assuming her dad's going to be home because it's still the same day. So, like, she literally ran from her dad that morning. So I feel like that was not smart for her to be doing any of this in front of her house.
He drinking beer, watching TV. He don't care.
He drunk. And she's trying to develop a toughness of leather-like face so he can slap it and she won't feel nothing. Well, anyway, he rides off and she keeps looking at him, like staring at him. And he's
kind of completely disregard Ben.
Yeah, he was like, well, see you later.
Bye.
See ya. And Ben looks back at her and she's still looking at Bill and she says, my heart burns there too. And Ben kind of, seems defeated as he walks home.
Which I guess it does kind of suck for being an anonymous letter or poem. You kind of could potentially have the wrong guess.
Well, later on, Beverly's in the bathroom doing her nightly hygienic process when she hears someone saying, help me, please, in the drain. And as she looks down there, she keeps hearing someone saying, help me, Beverly.
We're down here in the drain.
And she asks if someone's there. And she says, a clown brought us down here. We all float. I'm Vicky Burrows. I'm Matthew O'Connor. We're all the dead kids. and this balloon starts to swell up in the sink. And then it pops and blood goes everywhere. And she screams and goes to her dad. And he says, what is it? Somebody peeking in on you, girl? And
just automatically went to the worst thing.
And they both go into the restroom. And he says, what did you see? But there's blood everywhere. And I guess the dad cannot see it. And
he's all up into that sink.
He says, explain yourself. And she kind of thinks quickly, and she says, there was a spider, a big fat spider, that crawled out of the drain. He says, well, these buildings are old. He kind of just like, I don't know, huh? Just makes it seem like a minor thing for a spider. Yeah. He takes his hand and he puts it on her face and says, now go to bed.
While it was covered in blood.
And then you can hear Pennywise laugh, and he says, hello. Say hello to your friends, Beverly. You better not try to fight us, because you'll die. You'll die if you try to fight us. You'll die if you try. You'll die if you fight us, Beverly. And she kind of curls up in the fetal position. I just want to go back. And then we actually see her back in the car as an adult in the fetal position in the back of the cab. And then the Great Neck, New York is where we see Eddie as an adult going to the medicine cabinet. Now, while some woman is calling his name and it turns out to be his mother, he's gathering stuff and she's trying to figure out where he's going and what he's doing. And she doesn't want him to go, trying to convince him to stop. But he's like, I gotta go. There's something important I have to do. So he gets in the car and he tells the guy to drive. He apologizes to the driver and says, I'm so sorry to leave you holding the bag. And he tells, the driver tells him, it's covered. You don't have to worry about a thing. We got this. And he tells Joey, the driver, that there's a big job coming up. And Joey tells him, it's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. And as they're driving, he starts to think. And we see a good old flashback from Eddie.
Which I'm kind of curious on why the first three, you see Mike physically calling them and talking to them. But with Eddie, you don't see that. So I'm curious, did he remember? Like, did he already remember? Or is he like everybody else and don't remember? And then Mike called him and then it's like, oh, memory.
I think it's repetitive and we don't need to see it anymore. We don't need to see every call. Unless something different is going to happen, we don't need to see the same thing over and over again. So they're giving Eddie something different here.
Which, side point, the book that I read, it's like 1,000 pages long from the Stephen King. He actually married his mom.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. Holy cow.
Yep.
Well, in Eddie's flashback, they're in a movie theater as kids, and the whole gang is there, and they're watching some scary movie where everybody's screaming. This is a theater full of kids. People are just yelling, shouting, throwing stuff at the screen, and they're watching The Wolfman.
Yeah, man, I'd be if I spent my whole earned $5 on a movie.
And these kids are actually frightened of it. Like, they're scared of the Wolfman. So much so that Eddie accidentally kicks the popcorn off of the balcony where they were watching the movie, and it lands on Henry Bowers and the bullies.
And he just automatically popped up and like was watching it fall down.
You know,
so like obviously Henry seen who it was from.
And he says it, and they seen me. And Bill says, we gotta go. And Richard says, if I were you guys, I wouldn't want to go see a monster movie. I'd just stay at home and look at the mirror, as he throws his drink on top of all three of them.
Made it so much worse.
Well, they all take off running out of the theater. They all go to the Barrens where they normally hang out, and they end up seeing the place that Ben saw his dad. And Eddie says, that place gives me the creeps. And they all kind of tell him it's really nothing, but Ben keeps looking at it. And Richie makes a little joke as if Beverly is his girlfriend. And Eddie asks, why is Richie so special, Bev? And she says that, well, if it wasn't just him, I was on a date with all of you. And she gives him a little kiss on the cheek, and they all kind of walk off. But Eddie sees Ben staring at the bear and is kind of freaked out. But later on, they all ended up running up to Annie's house. That's Eddie's house. That's everybody that was hanging out that day. I was kind of walking him home, dropping him off. Eddie's about to go inside, but he turns around and says, I wish this summer would never end. It's the best summer of my whole life. And his mother comes outside and says she was worried. She almost called the police. And she tells all his friends to go away and go home.
Over dramatic.
And he tells him that these are my friends. And she says, Eddie needs his rest. See you tomorrow. And so all of them kind of walk off.
Well,
and the mother says, no good are coming from you hanging out with them. You don't need any friends except your own mom.
Okay, that's what I was getting at too.
And shut up. And she says, no gym and no showers with the other boys this week, okay?
She's weird.
And well, the next day in class, we end up seeing him in the PE class. And yep, coach says, what do you not get? You do gym, you sweat. You need to take a shower. So I guess he waits for all the other kids to leave, and he starts taking his own shower, and all of the faucets starts turning on by themselves, full blast.
Well, I'm still stuck on, like, I get it, you get sweaty, but I mean, like, a kid, they don't stink like grown-ups. Like, they do have, like, smelly pits, you know, as, like, teenagers and stuff, but, like, if he don't want to take a fucking shower, leave him be. Like, the fuck?
That ain't how it works. They weren't raising pussies back in the day. He gets his towel, wraps it around him, and I don't know why he did that. But anyway, all the faucets, he's trying to leave, and all the faucets starts coming on. They start extending from the wall and trying to stop him from leaving, and they're on hot. They're all on full blast hot.
Full blast hot, bro.
Yeah, and they start to burn everything burning, all this crap. But he can't leave. So, you know, he just tries to avoid these shower heads, and they all end up coming together to block him, and it's just some weird shit. They all try spraying him, and it looks like it hurts. But we see the water going down the drain because we can hear someone say, hey, Eddie, I just wanted to say hello. Hot enough for you up here? And we see a hand come out, two hands, and then they open the drain just like there was nothing. Like he could just do that. And it's Pennywise. He sticks his head out, and he says, hiya, Wheezy. You're going to like it down here. He says it won't do no good to run, girly boy. Come back anytime and bring your friends. And he looks down, and when he looks back up, his eyes have changed and his teeth are sharp.
Which I'm curious why he's showing his eyes and his teeth to this one, because all the other nightmares and hallucinations wasn't.
Fear. Fear, dear. We go back to the grown-up Eddie, and he's catching a train. And then we go to a dressing room where comedians on TV, and we find out he's actually on stage, and we're in the studio as the camera goes throughout the backstage area. The comedian is telling a bunch of like elementary jokes on stage, or the crowd is eating it up. They love it. And when he finishes, he heads to the back.
Still not laughing.
They're going, wow.
Yeah, and people seem to really love this guy. And the phone is constantly ringing while he's greeting fans and having a good time back there. And he finally answers it.
Well, my thing is that out of all the fucking people that were there, you would think that he would have a secretary. He would have somebody. All those people, why is the star the one to answer the phone?
Well, the guy on the phone says, hey, Richie, it's Mike. So we find out that this is Richie calling him from Derry. And as soon as he hears it, it's Mike. Richie kind of loses the energy he had. He's not that bouncy, loud person anymore. But next we see him talking to his manager, kind of arguing about how he can't leave. You know what he's going to do. You know, he's got to go to Derry. He's just letting his manager know, I got to do this. There's some stuff I got to do. And there's some people reporting some stuff that, no, I didn't tell y'all guys that we're in Beverly Hills, California. So Richie made it big. You know, Richie, big band, big comedian, Richie.
Which I'm pretty sure every single one so far has made it big.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, he tells his manager that he made a promise and that he's got to go back.
Which is that the second one that's sort of like you have career duties that you need to stay?
I don't know. The only person is the librarian, and that's...
Well, his manager gets upset and leaves. He didn't threaten his career or anything. He just got upset and leave. And then Richie starts having a flashback of his own, of what looks to be like a werewolf grabbing him. And he goes to the toilet and starts throwing up. And he's on the toilet and he thinks back to when he was a kid.
Which also, he stayed on that toilet. That's nasty. I would not be. If after I just vomited, I'd be laying on the floor. I would choose the floor over the toilet.
You don't want to smell the toilet after you...
Hell no.
You got upset at me whenever I chose the floor over the toilet.
No, because this fool, no, you shouldn't have brought that shit up. Because, okay, at that point, I was, 5 months pregnant, 6 months pregnant. He gets shit-faced drunk, and he just standing on his hands and his knees, and he's just vomiting all on the floor. And I'm like, get your ass to the fucking toilet so you can vomit in the toilet, and I don't have to clean it up. I use his beach towel.
My Avengers beach towel, bro.
I used his beach towel to clean it up, and I just threw it away. And he's like, "You need to clean it up." I'm like, "I ain't washing that shit. That's nasty."
Disrespectful.
That's horrible.
Well, Richie's listening to Bill tell a story about Lancelot and killing a dragon. Everybody loves the story. The kids are talking about what they want to do when they grow up. And there was for example...
I know there's a couple of people that was like, oh, I'm going to be in the army. I'm going to be like a fashionista or this or that. But yeah, a lot of people, like, I think everybody except for the black dude ended up being something.
Yeah, Ben wanted to be a fighter pilot. Eddie wants to be a train conductor. Beverly wanted to be an artist. Stan wanted to be an orthodontist.
But none of them were that, because Ben's the architect. Yep. And then Beverly's a fashionista person. Bill is a famous writer, horror writer. Eddie is a comedian. We haven't gotten to Stan yet.
What about the dude that married his mom? He ain't shit.
Eddie is a business owner, limousine business owner.
Well, Bill starts to tell them about what happened in George's room. But that's when a cop comes and he's yelling at him from the top of the bridge and he says, "What the hell are you doing down here?" He asked him and he goes, he says, whose idea was it to build this? You'll block up the back, they have a backflood of all the drains in town.
I did not catch an Irish accent.
He has some kind of accent.
Yeah, some type of accent.
Oh,
That's crazy.
I caught something, but I didn't know.
It wasn't from damn Derry, Maine, though.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
And the cop tells him that there's been another murder. Valma Daniels. Her body was found this morning down by the canal. He says, "Stay together, like you are now. And that means together all the time. Your hands on it." And he shakes all their hands.
I'm pretty sure as a police officer, he's not allowed to be like, this person died, this is how she died, and this is where she died.
I don't think he said all that. He just said, Valma Daniels died, another kid died. Okay. You get into a specific theory.
That's what you said.
The next day at lunch, Richie and Stan are about to go sit down when Henry and his crew grab him, and they want to know if it was him who did it. So Henry takes mashed potatoes and rubs it on Rich's glasses.
I feel like this is stupid because they already seen who knocked the popcorn over, which was Eddie.
They don't know it's dark up here.
It was not that dark in that damn theater.
Well, Richie shoves the tray into Henry's chest, getting food all over him, and he takes off running, and the boys try to chase after him, but Henry ends up slipping, and everyone laughs at him. But when he gets up, everyone stops. And Richie taunts them some more, and he tries to run, but he turns right around into the principal, knocking the food down on the principal. And he tells Richie to go downstairs and get a mop so he can clean this up. So he goes downstairs to find Mr. Marsh, the janitor, but he's not in there. So Richie has to go find it himself. Yep. So Richie goes into what seems to be a dark boiler room and sees a shadow of somebody in the back.
Like he was peeking at him.
He thinks Mr. Marsh, so let me go get him. So he goes over there and to check it out, and he's telling him about needing a mop. When he calls Mr. Marsh, the person comes around the corner, but it's the Wolfman. Mm-hmm. So Richie gets freaked out and tries to run away, but the Wolfman grabs him, and he screams and runs after he gets away, because I guess the Wolfman's had a loose grip or something. Mm-hmm. And he looks back, and it's Pennywise, the clown. And he says, "Beep, beep, Richie. Come back anytime.
Who's got the keys to the Jeep?
I'll show you how to float down here."
Broom.
They all float down here. And he shows those sharp teeth again. And that's when Richie takes off running into the cafeteria, screaming for help. And he's telling everyone that there's in the basement there's a werewolf. But because Richie's a comedian, everybody just laughs. And Richie had a hard time sleeping that night.
But I think they haven't said it yet, but the group of friends, the 7 of them, they weren't laughing. They were kind of looking at him, kind of like,
Well, next we see Mike back in Derry at the library, and he's looking at a picture of the kids when they were all younger, and he starts talking about how it was luck that brought them together, or maybe it was something more. The lucky 7, he says. And then we go back into Mike's memory of the past. And Mike, he's his first day, or not his first day, he's in like show and tell or something like that during class. And he's telling them about his dad who was stationed somewhere in World War II. Henry attempts to interrupt him again, and the teacher says, "You children need to be quiet." And then he continues. And he talks about the ironworks that exploded and all the people that got killed. And while he's speaking, someone throws a paper airplane at Richie. Near the biggest restaurant, he is... How's a tool? What the fuck am I talking about? Near the biggest restaurant.
Near the biggest restaurant in town. The black kid was walking, and that's when the bullies stopped him.
No, he's still talking about his presentation about how people keep dying every 30 years.
Because it was like 230
settlers just disappeared without a trace. And the teacher's like, thank you for that interesting but morbid history.
We also skipped the part that the teacher ended up kind of giving a slick comment to Henry Bowers because he kept kind of talking shit or whatever. And she's like, how many more years are you going to repeat the same class with me?
Yeah, dummy.
Yeah, so how many years has he already been with the same teacher? Like, how many years has he been held back?
Well, at least 3, right? It's got to be.
After class, we see Mike walking around with his photo album when Henry and the boys fucking find him. And he says, give it here.
Behind Henry Bowers, this whole entire time, it's only been 2 other boys with him, Belch and some unknown person. But in this scene, there was 4 kids, boys behind Henry Bowers this time. And then the rest of the movie, just to kind of give you a why, it's only ever been 2 after this scene too. So I don't know where the fuck the other 2 kids came from.
Well, I mean, it's not hard to figure it out. I mean, there's a whole city full of kids here. Okay.
Well, don't start off with just being like a terrible 3 musketeers and then add 2 other kids, and then the rest of the movie it's the same 3 musketeers.
Listen, they call them the N-word. That's the important thing we need to take from here. Not how many boys there are, but Henry Bowers is actually a racist. And they start to bully him. And Henry asks if he likes fireworks. What do you say to a rocket in your pocket?
He's trying to do some damage.
He starts to light this cherry bomb, but the shoe store owner across the street sees it and tries to stop him from bullying, which is one of the only adults that actually steps in and does something.
Yep.
So as the boys are distracted, Mike takes the photo album and takes off running. And that's when we see the kids all in some construction equipment. They're all talking about what they've seen, and they all have seen the clown. And Mike is still running from Henry Bowers and his gang. He jumps over this barbed wire fence, and the boys follow him. Stan doesn't believe any of them because he hasn't seen anything yet.
And he seems more, I don't want to say logical, but he just seems more reality-based type kid.
Bill says it's some kind of monster. And then they hear Henry yelling, and they say, we better get out of here. But one of them has an idea of getting some rocks so that they can fight back. So they start to prepare, and that's when Mike comes over the hill running scared, and he's yelling for help. He's tired. Henry yells out, "You're dead!" And as they approach, our kids stand ready. Henry calls them the Losers Club, but the kids stand firm. Henry says, "I got bones to pick with you, but I'm willing to let it go for today. I want him, so buzz off." Bill says, "Won't you get out of here?" And Henry says, "Who's going to make me?" Ben says, "We are." So Bill throws a rock and hits Henry in the leg.
Oh, I thought it was Ben who threw the first rock.
Henry says, "You're going to get a surprise." And they all start throwing rocks at his ass. That's when the Henry boys tried to throw some back, and one of them hits Beverly in the arm.
Which she made it seem like it got hit in the stomach because she like bent over and was clutching her stomach, but it was actually the arm.
And that makes Ben really mad, so he goes and tackles Henry Bowers. He knocks Henry down and embarrasses him in front of his friends. So when Henry stands up, Bill tells him to get out. And Henry says, "What if I don't want you?" And then Bill says, "Well, the 6 of us will put you in the hospital." And Mike says 7. And Henry starts to walk off, and he says, "I'll kill you all." And Richie says, "Get some new material, champ."
Right, that seems like his go-to.
And Henry leaves repeating, "I'll kill you all." Mike says, Thank you." And Stan says, anytime. And he says, Mike says, who are you guys? Eddie says, we're sort of a club. And Beverly says, yeah, the Losers Club. And Richie says, yeah, Bill. Bill says you want in. Mike says, yeah. Ben says, okay, we're 7 now. Lucky 7. And Mike says, hey, wait a second. And he set up his camera so that they all can take a picture together. And they take the picture that Mike was staring at to start all this in the present day.
Instant best friends.
Boom. Boom. They start looking at the old photo album that Mike had, and they see Pennywise the Clown. This is back when they were kids still. And they see a couple times that Pennywise was in these drawings. And they believe it's the same man, but Bill says it's not a bad. It's it. And the book starts flipping by itself. And that's
same
what Bill...
Same as Georgie's scrapbook.
Bill says, this is what happened in the room. And it goes to one picture that starts moving like a video.
And then like circusy movies. Yep.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of freaks and stuff walking around doing a bunch of weird stuff, and then we see some guy doing backflips in the back, and he's coming towards the camera. The character notices the camera and he growls at it.
Slowly starts to turn the color.
And it runs up to this pole and looks right into it and then into the picture and says, I'll kill you all. I'll drive you crazy. No, not just kill you. I'm on all your nightmares. I'm the worst nightmare you've ever had. I'm the worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever wanted. And then he says it's going to make him afraid. And he ends up reaching through the photo, trying to grab him, but they end up throwing it down. Stanley grabs and closes it, actually. And it falls to the ground. And Stanley says, no, 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 no.
I guess that's the first time that he's seen it. So he's having a hard time processing.
And as he's saying no, everybody's saying yes, yes, yes. It did happen. He says he didn't want to see it, but he did. And Beverly says it's not just us. Velma Daniels was in her class. Who's going to be next? They think the parents grow up and just stop believing, so they don't believe in this clown. Bill says, help me.
Well, he walks off, starts tearing up.
You killed my brother, you bastard.
That's horrible acting.
Let's see you now.
That's horrible.
It's scared of us. You know, I can feel that, I swear to God. I want to kill it. Help me.
Yeah, it's not very good acting.
So Beverly,
that's too good acting for that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he did way better.
Beverly, Mike, Richie, Ben, Eddie, and Stan all go over and huddle with him. Mike comes out of the flashback as if he were dozing off, and you can hear the thunder outside, and you see muddy footprints in the library.
Which is, well, excuse me, it's small, muddy footprints. Like, that's not Pennywise. He got some clown shoes.
He transforms. As Mike turns around, there's a big yellow balloon that pops right next to him, and you can hear Pennywise laughing, like he put laughter in the balloon. And then we go to Atlanta, Georgia, where we see a couple watching a TV set. The man is reading the newspaper, and the woman is knitting a sweater. He gets...
Well, she got some shoes on her couch.
He gets up and starts kissing on his wife, and then he hears a telephone ring, goes over to it, and says that, Stan speaking, and the person on the phone says, hello, it's Mike Hanlon. And Stan says, Mike Hanlon, I'll be damned. He seems happy to hear from him.
He seems completely different. Like all the other ones were slow to remember, but he seems way quicker to remember than the other ones.
But then Mike says it's come back. Now Stan says, are you sure?
He starts fucking with his left ear.
Rubbing his ear all nervously. Yeah. And Stan says he gets the picture. He says, I can't absolutely promise I can make it, but I'll certainly consider it. And Mike says, do you remember your promise? And he says, yes, I remember it. And then his wife asks, who is it? Who is it? Who is on the phone?
And again.
Yeah, he says, no one. And he says, I think I'll take a bath.
Which that seems so stupid because before the phone call, they were talking about like sex and having kids and they're like making out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like as Stan's wife, I would have asked more questions or asked if he was okay because he was his demeanor was completely different.
Well, she is confused, but he goes upstairs, grabs something off the railing, and goes straight to the restroom.
Which I think is his jacket.
As he's taking off his clothes, he starts to remember when he was a kid, pulling on his ear. And we're having a flashback, and the kids are all practicing a slingshot, trying to hit bottles. Stan thinks it's crazy to try to go hunt a clown, but everybody else is preparing to see who the best shot is. Beverly's up, and she hits the first bottle. And then her first shot nails it. The second can with her second shot, boom, hits the third bottle with her third shot.
Nice.
And then the fourth and the fifth and the sixth. She knocks everything down. Doesn't miss once.
All 10.
Ben says, I don't think I need to shoot. And Richie says, it's like it's supposed to be her. So they hand her these silver pieces. Where do they get that from?
It's jewelry. Who gave it to him? One of the boys ended up being like, I found this in my mom's jewelry box. Yeah. Like, they're pure silver.
They think since it's silver, it'll kill the clown.
The pull silver?
Stan doesn't believe in the plan, and he doesn't want to go. But they all tell him we have to do it. He keeps repeating to help other people all the time. To make myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally better or something. They're going to the Baron. They all huddle up to prepare. And Bill tells them they don't have to do it. But they all disagree, except for Stan. He needed some convincing.
They say you don't have to do it, but they're kind of like shit-talking them into it and be like, we have to do it. Because like beforehand, when Stan was disagreeing with it, they're like, no, we have to do it. So it's like, they do have to do it, but they're kind of, Stan don't want to do it, but kind of bullying him into doing it, in my opinion.
Well, he needed some convincing, but he was there for them. They all took a hit of Eddie's inhaler. And I was wondering if this was a point where instead of taking a hit of that inhaler, they all took a hit of Beverly in the book.
Yeah, they had a gangbang, but that wasn't the scene in the book. It wasn't at that point that they all fucked her.
Well, they all have this little...
What is y'all talking about?
In the 1,000-page book of Stephen King, Christ. When they ended up being in the sewers and like in the midst of like Pennywise coming and get them all back down to reality, they all ended up fucking Beverly into completion. All 6 boys back to back to back. And that concreted them into reality, and they were able to feed them. Like they were able to all get out of that bad scene or bad area. Yeah, they all fucking gangbanged her. Yeah,
they went gangbang. It was running a train.
Okay, that's the right. Yeah,
bro. How old are they? What the fuck?
What you would think? 13, 14?
Well, I mean, he was super califragilistic high whenever he wrote this book. So okay, I can see that.
Yeah, it was weird as hell.
He was high as hell whenever he did this. I think this is a movie he said he don't even remember writing.
Well, as they all head in, Henry Bowers is hiding in the woods with his 2 boys, and they follow the kids in.
Which none of the 7 kids seen them into the bushes. They weren't that far off of the path that they were walking.
Well, Henry says they're not coming back out.
He's very vicious. Like, is he truly wanting to kill these kids?
He's got issues at home.
Well, yeah.
Can't beat his father, so he might as well beat these kids.
Yeah.
To death.
They all head deeper into the barrens, with Henry and his crew following them. Henry sends one of his crew members to go outside into another entrance to head back and try to trap the kids.
Yep, like they did with the dog or something.
Yeah, and he sends him by himself. Well, he starts to go, and he gets attacked by some light. But back with the other crew, Stan falls behind and gets grabbed by Henry Bowers.
I don't understand.
He pulled a knife on him. One of the losers keeps trudging forward, and they make it to an opening, and they realize that Stan's missing.
Why did Stan? If I was Stan, I would have been crying out, yelling, screaming something.
No, you only got to put your hand over somebody once, and then they'll be quiet the whole time you have them.
Them's the rules. We go back to Stan and Henry, and he's popping the buttons off of Stan's shirt with a knife.
With the greatest of ease.
I know. I feel like everything was already off for some boy. That was a sharp-ass knife. While this light is traveling through this tunnel, the boys see it, and it bursts out, causing Belch to let go of Stan, and it grabs Belch like some kind of tractor beam, but it pulls him into the tunnel.
Booty first.
Unless he's flexible, he surely broke something on that tunnel pool right there. But he was petrified. He was frozen solid.
Which I feel like he had a quick death because it had to been his spine, like to get him to be accordion style, because it was his chin was touching his shin, so that had to been a quick death, right? Like you can't just have a broken fucking back and be that much and still be alive.
I wouldn't think of broken back. I would think like pulled muscles or something.
There's no way.
I feel like how many people can bend down there like that?
No, this is a teenage boy.
If he bent him backwards, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, he broke
I feel like backwards would have been
But
in
just
the
down,
show, in the book.
Yeah, just down like that. He probably just pulled hamstrings or something, like ripped those off his bones or legs or something. But I don't think it broke him back.
How'd it happen in the book?
I don't remember. It's been like 10 years since I read the book. The only thing I really remember is the game, the train. And
nasty bitch.
But Stan and Henry watch as it pulls them through, and Stan is able to get up and start moving while this light goes back into the tunnel. But before he leaves the room, the light starts coming back out of the tunnel, and that's when Stan's like, all right, fuck, I'm out of here.
Smart move.
Yeah, but Henry just stays there, and the light goes through and goes past him, I guess, and it just turns all of his hair white.
Which I'm curious why I didn't take Henry
leaves
in
him
that
alive.
moment. Yep.
Because they probably knew that he was evil.
And
That's true.
he didn't have no fear for it, I guess.
But for the hair to turn white, that's from fear.
Easy to manipulate.
That's from fear, though.
How do you know?
Is it?
Yeah, because later.
That ever happened?
Because
have you been so scared your hair turns white?
No, because in other books and movies and things like that, the hair does turn white. But no, when Mike was explaining, like later on in the movie, when Mike was explaining how his hair turned white, he went down to the sewers to get the silver pieces to find them, and he said he came out and it was a terrifying experience, and that was how his sideburns or that small portion of his hair turned white because from fear.
Well, there you go.
But I guess because Henry's evil that he sensed that.
Well, Stan runs back and tries to find the losers with the light chasing after him. He finds the losers and tells them it's coming. And Bill says, hands, quickly. And they all grab hands with each other and move towards the center of the room. The light comes in and it looks to be at the bottom of a turtle shell or something. And it's shining light straight on all of them.
Turtle shell with a 6-pack.
And they're all trying to protect themselves. The alien creature has retreated into another tunnel. And Stan says that they did it. We did it. But then this fog starts to fill the room. And Bill says, take hands before we get lost again. And they all grab each other and say, is everybody here? And they all start doing a roll call of the group. Bill tells them everyone to hang on. We have to resist. And then he hears Georgie. But Beverly tells him it's not George. Don't break the circle. And then you hear her father. And Richie tells her it's not your dad. And that's when Werewolf Hand starts creeping up on Richie. But he says there ain't nothing there. And while Stan's repeating, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country. We hear someone whisper or say, Stanley boy. And it's Pennywise, and he has Stan by the hand. He ends up grabbing Stan and taking him up against the wall. Pennywise tells him to let go and be afraid. You all taste so much better when you're afraid.
Do you think he took Stan because Stan was the most afraid of everybody?
Probably.
Or the one that...
He was most mentally broken down about seeing him. But
That's true.
Says, hurry up and kill it. Bill says, hurry up and kill it. And Pennywise laughs. He says, I am eternal, child. I am the eater of worlds and of children. And you are next. He looks at Stan and pulls out them sharp teeth. But Beverly cranks the silver into the slingshot. And Eddie walks up to him and says, this is battery acid, you slime. And starts spraying him with inhaler right into the eyes. And it actually melts his face. And Beverly hits the slingshot with that silver in it and cracks Pennywise right in the head.
But she dropped the first one. Did you see that? She dropped the first silver piece and took forever to find it when she already had the second. She had the second piece.
All right, well, she cracks him in the head, and the light starts coming out. Well, light starts pouring out of that, and I wonder if he was limited to their imagination. Because Eddie said it's battery acid, which we find out later is placebo, which is actually nothing, and it actually hurt Pennywise. So
I took it as since he believed it was battery acid or whatever. Yep.
It is limited to their imagination.
Yep.
And he sprays it all over and starts melting his skin, because he believed that it was work on him.
Yeah, and then they believed that the silver was going to work on him, and then that's what cracked his skull open.
Yeah, it fucked him up.
And then this acrobatic motherfucker, when was the last time you got in a fight?
And the motherfucker did
you got hit. He did a front flip over your head and escaped.
I don't know. He went straight down a little hole, but Bill ends able to grab him before he goes down there. And as he's grabbed his hand starts transforming to this alien-like 3-fingered hand. And it goes down into the tunnel. And Bill says, we got to go after it. We have to make sure it's dead. But the other guys or the other kid, well, you hear this sound like it's like throwing up or dying or something. And they're like, I think we got it. And then it starts coughing and hacking. So they decide to leave.
Which, I mean, unless they're engineers and know how to get fucking down there, they're not going to be able to go down the drain. So I think at that point, they kind of have to leave it anyways.
Well, that's when Bill says on the outside, he says, swear to me that if it isn't dead, we'll all come back. And all of them say it. They all promise that they will come back if it does.
Which I'm curious at this point, because it seems like Bill is the leader of this group, but Mike was the one to stay. Mike was the one who became the librarian. He's the one that remembered. He's the one that called everybody to come back. So I feel like if anybody were to stay, I feel like it would have made more sense for Bill to be the one to stay because he was the leader of the group.
Nah, Bill got things to do, man. He got books to write. Well, the camera fades back into Stan's house as we see his wife going upstairs looking for him. She opens up the bathroom door and she sees Stan in the bathtub and his clothes are neatly folded on the toilet.
You don't see not a single red anything in there when she first walks in.
Right.
But then camera pans over again.
And you see the razor with blood on it.
It's
dripping from
weird
his hand.
because she looked at him and then looked at his clothes. Like, obviously his clothes is going to be somewhere else because, hello, he's naked in the bath. So, like, I don't get why they made the distinction of her looking at his clothes and then coming back.
Stan cut his own wrist and bled out in the bathtub, killing himself. But before he did, he wrote "it" on the wall in his blood. And the next day, I suppose is the next day, we see Bill getting out of a cab at the cemetery. He goes to George's headstone and says that he hasn't forgotten. But then he sees Pennywise digging a grave and he says, "Take your pick, Billy boy, except for the one on the end." That's already taken.
At first he's
sorry.
I'm afraid. Billy boy.
Bill says, "I'm not afraid of you." Bill says, "I remember we beat you, and I'm not afraid of you." And he closes his eyes, and then Pennywise is gone.
So obviously he is at this grave visiting George, and he's seen that there is 6 graves open and the 7th one is already taken. There's a cross, there's already like a mound of dirt. I personally would have the second, or like the first thing that I would have said is like, hey, once you get with the group, hey, I've seen this. Pennywise made me see this. There's 6. We need to go ahead and start calling everybody, make sure who's okay, who's dead, because I feel like someone is dead because Pennywise showed it to me.
That's fair.
But is it really?
Yeah, because obviously the 7th one died.
Well, Bill arrives at the library that Mike works at and takes a look around and sees that his book is on display. The Smile and the Glowing.
Which is kind of a shout out to The Shining.
Yeah.
I was wondering if all of them were references to other Stephen King books.
Yeah, I think so.
I just remember The Shining. I know that is for sure a shout out to The Glowing. I don't know specifically about the other ones.
Bill sees Mike and they give each other a hug. Bill tells him he doesn't remember much, and Mike says it's better that it doesn't all come back at once. And Bill asks, "How do you remember?" And Mike says that he never left. A lot of Bill's memories came back, and Mike brings Bill to his house. Bill says he had a feeling that he can tell when everyone's in town and they're not all there yet. Mike says him too.
This is interesting.
Mike takes Bill to the shed and says, maybe this will stimulate your memory a little bit.
Which I know that you skipped a scene, and I know you're probably going to say it's like not a good scene or whatever, but Mike took Bill to his house, and Bill ended up being like, "Oh, one of us used to live around here," and he was like, "Yeah, Beverly used to live around here," and he was like, "Oh, this used to be the poor part of the town," and Mike's like, "Oh yeah, it's still a poor part of the town, and this is my house." But I'm like, if you remember Beverly's house when you went in, it seemed large. It was a kitchen, a living room, it was a couple bedroom house, I don't understand how that was a poor part of the town. Like, that was actually a nice fucking house in my opinion.
It was a Shrek moment. He was like, "Man, who would live in a dump like this? This is my house. Look at that boulder. That's a nice boulder." But he shows Bill his old bike, Silver. And Mike was like, "Yeah, I found it at an auction or some crap like that." 3 months before he bought the bike, he felt some kind of force that he thinks was guiding them. And when Bill touches the bike, he remembers him and Stan running from something or riding away from something. We then see Richie in a convertible driving down the street, singing his songs, and he notices the Paramount has become vacant. And he's a little upset at that, but he takes a look at the venue, and the venue up there says the Baroness on one side, and the other side it says Richie, and it shows his name, and it shows his birth and death. And he
freaks out.
Yeah, he does. And he drives over to the library real quick, and he's like, Mike Hanlon, I need Mike Hanlon. Where's Mike Hanlon? And she's like, he stepped out for a little bit.
Screaming at his ass.
He's like, he stepped out for a little bit. He'll be back. She'll take a seat. He should be back. He goes and he sits down, kind of freaked out for a while, but he gets a little scared because she brought him a water, and I guess he's a little terrified. And he's like, thank you. And he watches her walk away, and then you hear a voice say, a little young for you, Richie. Beep, beep, Richie. And Richie's like, I didn't hear that. And an old man who was sitting next to him says, I beg your pardon. And that's when we see Pennywise upstairs reading a newspaper, and he says, I have a balloon for you. Don't you want a balloon? What's the matter? One balloon not enough? Try a bunch. And all these balloons come falling down from the ceiling or floating down, and no one can see them but Richie. And they start to explode. And when they explode, they cover people in blood. But these people are actually being sprayed with blood, and they have to flinch.
Yeah.
They're trying not to.
They're trying not to. Dude, come on.
They
now.
are.
Come on, dude. I saw the lady with the glasses. Like, you could tell she clearly fucking blinks. But the dude without the glasses, oh, yeah, you seen him. Don't get in my mouth.
Oh, God. And the library asks if Richie, if everything's all right, while Pennywise is yelling at him. And he tells them that they're too old to stop him. And he's making jokes. And so Richie is screaming really loud at the lady because no one can hear them but Richie.
Tell Mike Hanlon.
Yes.
I'll be back. Tell Mike Hanlon.
Yes,
I will be back.
And then he leaves while Pennywise is telling him to get out while you can. He says, is your refrigerator running? Well, you better catch it before it runs away.
I wonder if it's a start of those stupid jokes. You got Prince Albert in the can. Well, you better let him out.
Yeah. Well, Mike comes out of the house and he sees that Bill is fixing the bike up. They both smile at each other, and then they go for a bike ride, which could not have been comfortable for Mike on the back of that bike.
Jesus.
And then there's a montage of Mike and Bill hanging out when they were younger with his bike, and when they're older now, Mike hands Bill a deck of bicycle cards to put into the spokes of the bike to make the clacking noise. But Bill accidentally drops them, and the cards have Pennywise on the back of them.
He did so bad. Like, I feel like he's an okay actor the rest of the time. Beyond the stuttering, I think he's a terrible actor with the stuttering. But with, I don't know, him accidentally dropping, it looked like terrible acting.
I don't know how they're supposed to sound with the cards in there, but I remember back in the day, whenever we had our bikes, we would smush a can.
Yeah.
And put it in this.
That was bad for the tire.
Yeah, it was horrible for the tire, but it actually sounded like a moped whenever you was driving. It sounded nice, but it was horrible for the tire, bro. You had no thread left after you did that shit.
Well, then we see Ben in a cab talking on the phone when he loses reception, riding on his way to Derry. He tells the cab driver to pull over when he sees a bridge, and he walks down to where they built the dam at and used to hang out. When a fat kid comes running from the other kids, and it reminds him of himself when he was younger.
Which I don't see why he didn't stop the other kids or help. He just watched the whole entire.
Once the kid is pushed down, Ben goes over to check him out and pulls out this bandana and dips it in some dirty ass water.
I know.
Wraps it around his kid's
They
shin.
got bacteria and
yes.
everything in there.
That was literally my hindsight.
Here's some cholera for you. Go ahead and die. Fucking dehydration.
Don't
Jesus
get
Christ.
some Miguel's pop.
Yeah, poor kid. But he wraps it around his little skin knee, and as the fat kid walks off, you can hear someone call Ben Lucky Day when he was younger, and it sounds like his dad at the Barrens. But instead of his dad, it's that skeleton out there this time. Mm-hmm. And then a homeless man scares the shit out of him.
Yeah, what the hell?
Some random ass scene.
Got any spare change? And he's like, yeah, get away from me. Yeah. And he takes off running, and the homeless guy, I wasn't going to hit you. I don't even know you. And that guy was the star of the show. Yep. So Ben runs back to the taxi, and he gets in and says, let's go. And as they're driving, he notices Pennywise on the side of the road with some balloons waving at him. And when he turns back around, there's a balloon in the car that says, "Turn back now." And it's like Pennywise is trying to get them to leave town. Like Pennywise may be scared of what adults can do. And then we see a grown-up Eddie. He just dropped off at the old pharmacy and then has a flashback of when he was younger at the pharmacy. And the pharmacist behind the counter tells him to come with him. And as he follows the pharmacist, he's telling him that he has a placebo. It's just water inside of his inhaler. He doesn't actually have asthma.
Which just seems nice. I mean, like, that's not something that the pharmacist truly needs to do because he's also making money off of this. But I feel like he was like, you're kind of stuck in the middle with your dumb doctor and your mom trying to put this on you. So I feel like it was a nice thing for the pharmacist to do.
Well, Eddie doesn't want to believe it. But grown-up Eddie gets another prescription of something, and he hears Mr. King, the old pharmacist, and he starts to go talk to him, seeing if he remembers him. He wanted to thank Mr. King for trying to tell him the truth a long time ago. And Mr. King says, hydrox H2O, water, and it's only water, and it's all in your head. So he does remember him, but he seems kind of spaced out, like, you know, he's not all there.
Dementia.
The guy that checked Eddie out was saying that was his granddad. The granddad didn't look that old. And it's only been 30 years.
30 years is a long time for an old man. But as Eddie...
He already looked old as hell when he was young.
Yeah, but Eddie was getting up. Mr. King grabs him. And you can hear Pennywise's voice say, "Get out of Derry while you still can.
Didn't the hand
Beware,
change?
little Eddie.
Yeah.
Beware, curly boy." And then Mr. King goes back to his normal, delirious ways, and Eddie leaves the store. But just down the street from the store is Beverly's old house, and she's in front of it. And they have weird doorbells on there for every new owner, I guess, or maybe every resident that lives in the house. Maybe they turn into a duplex.
I feel like it was like a townhouse type thing where it's their little thingy, like off at the Friends, the little intercom or Seinfeld with the intercom, you push
but
it.
This is just a regular house. They ring a certain bell for the Marshes, and a certain person's supposed to come up, I guess, possibly. But this old lady comes out to the door, and Beverly says that she was looking for a Marsh, and the old lady says that he's been dead for 5 years. And she looked at the bell again, and it says Kirsch, and she thought it said Marsh. She said that she knew Beverly's father for a little while, and says, "Come on in for some tea, dearie."
So I thought
Mrs. Doubtfire.
So I thought when somebody passes away that they would like pull up their information, and like the intermediate family would also get pulled up, and I don't know. My assumption is like, okay, if someone dies, that information get pulled up, and then I guess it is the 50s. So
I mean, but if Dude can find her, she can, anybody else can, like especially cops, bro.
Nobody give a damn about that. But the old lady suggests that Beverly should freshen up a little bit. Go to the restroom, dearie. So I'll be...
That's all I mean about her.
So she goes to the restroom, and while she's putting water on her face and neck in a weird way, she hears this old lady yell, "It's tea time!" And
you didn't fall asleep in there, did you, dearie?
The sink is about full. Now, even though it's been drained and dripping, she sits down with tea with the old lady, and the old lady starts chugging her tea down like, goddamn, it's the best shit she's ever had.
She's missing her fucking lip and everything.
Oh, my God. And she's just real loud about it, and like, ugh. Yeah, her teeth are real jacked up now. So Beverly starts stirring her tea, and she notices that it's blood, and she drops it on the floor, breaking it. And the old lady says, "Don't trouble your pretty little head, dearie. I'll get it."
Oh, yeah. By the way, before that, Beverly was clearly taller than this woman whenever she walked in the house. Man. But then she dropped the blood. Okay, so the lady's, "Oh, don't worry your pretty little head. I'm going to clean it up." Starts cleaning it up. And then when she looks back up, oh, it's a damn zombie.
Yeah.
And this bitch is goddamn 6'5".
It's an old nasty version of her decayed father is what it sounds like.
Because the voice sounded like her dad.
Yeah, but Beverly runs out of the house, and when she looks back, you hear Pennywise laughing at her. And when he closes the door to the house, she almost gets hit by a truck.
Because she was in the middle of the fucking road.
And she looks back at the house again, and it's been boarded up. So this house has been abandoned for a while. I don't know how she got in there.
Where the hell did she go?
I guess it was all in her head because there's no way she would have gotten in that house.
Which she started out in the middle of the street staring out, and then when she came out, she ran into the middle of the street.
Maybe she was just in a trance.
Almost got hit by a van, and then still stayed in the middle of the damn street. I would not have been in the middle of the fucking street.
Yes, they dangerous.
It is pretty dangerous. Well, she looks down and there's a yellow balloon floating next to her, and it starts bouncing down the street. This was kind of a cool effect because I don't see how they could have had this work, because it would like float and it would bounce, and then it would float and bounce. Well, the next thing we see is Bill's wife talking to the manager, and the manager is very upset at the whole thing. And she's trying to defend Bill. She asks for a few days, but he says, don't even think about leaving. You worked very hard to get where you are. You don't want to do anything to jeopardize that in order to damage our professional relationship, saying that he'll crucify her if he becomes an enemy at any cost. But there's no need to talk about that. See you tomorrow.
Which she's an actor or actress, so I'm assuming they're on a very strict timeline. And it's not something where you can just be like, oh, I gotta take a sick day, I'll come back later. Like, so she's kind of putting her career on the line right there.
Well, she's left to debate whether to go see her husband go see her husband and damage her career, or be successful and leave her husband alone. A little bit later, we see her wake up from a nap, and she immediately calls the airline and requests a ticket.
Well, I took it as because the thunder, like there's like a thunderstorm or something, like the thunder woke her up and she got like freaked out, maybe had a bad dream or something, and immediately called. Like, I took that from it.
My thing is, I didn't even know that was in London because nobody had a damn British accent.
Man, what's up with that,
Yeah. At least fucking stay with the damn
I know. The cop had an Irish accent in America. That was weird. Well, back in Derry, we see the group start to reunite. Ben is the first one there, then Eddie, then Bill, Mike, and they all hug. And they're all happy to see each other. Richie just shows up and sees everyone together and starts to turn around. He goes to the restroom.
He's panicking.
Yeah, Richie, he did not do that.
He goes in the bathroom and he splashes his face.
Yeah,
splashes. He's like talking to himself, hyping himself up. Oh, no.
He splashes himself, comes back to the group as funny as ever. You know, he had to get his face on. And that's when Beverly shows up and says, what a bunch of handsome old men, and almost faints. But Eddie catches her. Yeah, Eddie catches her, and when she comes to, she kisses Richie around the lips.
Straight from the get-go.
Yeah, and she hugs everyone, and she said it was so much come flooding to her back at once, and Mike had said that it's better to come slowly than all at once. She said it was like a tidal wave.
That's what they said back in the sewer.
She gives Ben a big hug and asks where Bill is, and Bill walks up behind her and has this long mouth kiss.
I don't get this.
Exactly.
Ask if she's all right.
He's married. She only kisses Richie and Bill. She gave everybody else a hug. So why is she only kissing them specifically? And I knew she had a crush on Bill when they were kids, but still, he's married. Why the fuck is he kissing her?
That's why I was saying, like, dude, oh my God.
And the guys are just like kind of staring at them, kind of like,
I was wondering why until y'all told me that the whole orgy scene. That's why I was like, well, why is she kissing him? And now, okay, I got you. Them feelings are flooding back.
God. Yeah, that's weird, man.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder. Like, did they all do the same missionary position in them sewers, or was they were bending her all kind of ways? Anyways,
they were all kids, so they would only know one way.
No, man, no.
I'm also wondering because I mean they didn't have fucking condoms, so how did this bitch not get pregnant? Oh, this is not one of them.
Let me tell you guys something. My first position. Let me actually talk about this.
Well, she talks about seeing it today, and everyone agrees that they did too. Ben asks Mike to fill in the gaps, and Eddie says, yeah, I can't remember anything that you guys are talking about, but he can feel something. And that's when the memories start rushing back on Eddie, spraying the inhaler in Pennywise's face. Eddie says he remembers who Pennywise is. White guy, red nose, about 75 feet tall with razor-sharp teeth. I think this was a scene in the book that they didn't show. Because there is a scene in the newer It where they do show the supersized.
Yeah, because they didn't show Pennywise. It being super tall in this movie.
Yeah. They didn't show that one. So Pennywise wasn't huge, but there was something chasing after Stan and Bill that time because we never see him tall in the movie like that. So we start wondering where Stan is.
But they didn't call him.
But they still want Mike to fill him in on the memories. And Richie says that this is the first time that he's gotten here that he feels good. So let's have some drinks and let's have a good time. So they toast to the losers and begin dinner, and they're having a really good time. They end up talking about Henry Bowers, and he's at some psych ward place where they say he confessed to all the murders of the children that it actually killed. But he kept on babbling about a bright light and a clown, and no one believed him. And he didn't say anything else after that, not a word. And Bill says that it all stopped after that. But Mike says, we thought it did. We thought we stopped it. And then we see Jennifer Hill's State Correctional Facility, where Henry Bowers is sleeping in the hallway. It seems like a hallway, and it looks like he's being woken up because he hears Pennywise's voice, and it shows himself in the moon. He says, you helped me once, remember? You chased those brats, almost got them, Henry.
Which also, is there like an overflow at the psychiatric ward?
Oh,
Because
yeah, there's a bunch of people in that damn hallway.
they're just in the hallway sleeping on some cots with the other doors closed.
That was weird. But he's like, don't you want another chance? You got to get back and finish the job. You got to go back to Derry and kill them all. For me, Henry, kill them all. Henry, get them all. He's so worried about getting them all. But as dinner is winding down, Richie is talking about leaving for the next day, and they're all trying to tell him that they're scared, but yeah, they have to finish this.
They still haven't really talked about any plans or anything.
Yeah.
But Eddie says maybe he's right. You know, if we're talking about going back into the sewer, Bill says, we don't know what we're talking about yet. Give Mike a chance. Mike breaks up the fight and says that if they want to go, they can go. But wherever we go from here, there's no expectations, and Mike has taken care of the dinner already.
Which everybody else is like super fucking rich. So why is the librarian the one that's covering the damn charge of this bill?
So they're about to have another toast to Mike, and as Richie's about to open up his fortune, they all crack open their cookies, and there's blood inside, and roaches, and eyeballs, and teeth, and a baby bird in one of them. I don't know how that last one was scary, but
the little baby bird.
Yeah. And the waitress comes over with this terrible acting.
Oh, man.
And asks if something is the matter, and she's like looking around, but not even in... She's like looking away from the table. Is everything okay?
If you got the horrible Asian accent, is everything okay?
Yeah, she's like, look at, oh, it's like, terrible. This is terrible. Oh, yeah, but they all kind of play it off. Yeah, while
said
Bill's...
Eddie was having a, not allergic reaction, but like an asthma attack. Yeah,
Bill's cookie is starting to grow tarantula legs, so they all agree to leave and run out of the restaurant. They all meet up at the hotel. No, the library. They meet at the library, and they're cutting up and having fun.
Which Stan is still not here.
And Mike ends up calling Stan's house to see where he's at, and I suppose it's his wife or someone on the other line tells him that Stan's dead. He cut his wrist in the bathtub right after Mike called him. First time, Bill starts to tell a story about the last person to see it that summer, which was Stan, and him and Stan were rolling on the bike, and he comes running up to him and he tells him to go, 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 go. And Bill says he didn't really see anything, but Stan saw it, and he didn't want to see whatever it was. It took him hours long to calm down and tell him what happened. And he said that he was going down on Lampin Park by a bird feeder, watching birds like a good Boy Scout. Mm-hmm. Stan heard something whisper his name while he was there, watching birds. From this house, Stan said he didn't mean to go into the house, but the voice kept whispering to him. And naturally being Stan, he figured there was a rational explanation. So he walked inside the house and doing that same thing that people do in movies. He says, hello.
Hello.
Hearing someone call his name, he says, yeah, I'm right here. And when he walks in the house, the door closes behind him and something starts coming down the steps. And it was like a mummy or something. And what did he... Stupid. He said the only thing he knew how to do was just to hold his book out and start naming the birds that he knew of, like a shield in the Bible or something.
But I don't understand. Like, he tried the door behind him, which of course is going to be locked. Yeah. It's a house. Why is he not running in the house to see if there's another exit? Or, I don't know.
Because he didn't want to be trapped and, like, get stuck somewhere.
But he's already kind of stuck anyways because he ain't moving.
But the bird thing actually worked, and the door unlocked, and yeah, he got out of there. Stan told Eddie that he had saw it, and he looked right into its deadlights. And he said, I wanted to be there. Ben says he needs a drink. And they all agree. So Mike opens up the refrigerator and balloons come out of it. And they see Stan's head in the refrigerator. And he's talking to everyone like he's happy to see everybody. But it's just his head. And Stan starts making fun of them all. And then he says he's in the deadlights. And he says that we all float down here. You'll float too. And you'll all float. And it starts sounding more like Pennywise. So Mike slams the refrigerator door closed, and all of a sudden the power goes out in the library, and the doors and windows bust open, and just like a hurricane goes in there. They start flying everywhere. Books start flying off the shelf. And I imagine this would take a lot of power to do if you were some kind of demon or alien or whatever. And then the typewriter starts writing the letter by itself. And then it starts raining on the inside.
Oh, damn, it's good.
Yeah. So
I know my thing is that, number one, this guy's powerful. But you can only put your veil around Derry, Maine, right? Mm-hmm. Where was Stan when he died? He wasn't in Derry, Maine, right?
Neck, New York, something like that.
No, but he seems to have a connection to all of the loser clubs people.
But only when they come to Derry, right? So how does he get his face whenever he has nothing to do with where he lives at?
I think it's more of a hallucination. Not
like,
that he physically had his head in the refrigerator.
I know he didn't, but it's like how does Pennywise even know how he looks or anything? How does he know that he's dead? How does he know anything? Because his power can't go past Derry, right?
Well, we didn't know that.
I feel like I feel like you and I had a kind of like a discussion about it.
Bill grabs everyone's hand and they huddle up. And he said, I'll look up in some weird way. They all look up in some weird way while the rain's coming down. They're like, straining for the rain. The light comes back on and Bill grabs the paper from the typewriter and it starts stuttering again, real bad, and says he thrusts his fist against the post and still insists he's the ghost. And Bill says his mom gave him this to say, to help him with his stutter. And Richard says, no offense, pal, it ain't helping. And Bill starts laughing and they all leave after taking boxes of something out of there. What was that, trash or something?
No, it's things that Mike collected to help them defeat it.
Oh, okay.
In the sewers.
Well, back at the psych ward, we see Henry and he hears Belch talk to him from below his bed. And one of the guards says, do you need help there, Henry? And then
completely loud, waking up the other people that are in the hallway.
Henry shakes his head no, but the guard starts slapping his fist into his hand, saying, that's a good boy. But what was that? But he wants to make those kids pay. But you're going to have to get out of here. And Belch gives Henry his old knife and says he'll take care of the guard. You just lead the way. So Henry walks up to the door and the guard sees him and he walks out there to approach Henry, but then Pennywise steps out from behind him. And Pennywise has a Rottweiler head and I guess he attacks the guard and kills him.
He had a damn Rottweiler head. This is so crazy.
That part I didn't understand, but then also all the stuff that Pennywise is doing, they're hallucinations. But he gave Henry a knife. So is that a true knife? Did he actually give him a knife? And why didn't he just allow him to stab him? I feel like that would have been,
I don't know,
more helpful.
I feel like if he can attack people, he can bring the inanimate objects to people, maybe.
Yeah,
but I'm also thinking that maybe the guard is scared of dogs.
I would think so.
And that's what
because he fell down terrified. Yeah. But did he take care of him as in he had a heart attack and died, or did he just terrify him enough for Henry to escape?
They did one of those little close-up things to let you know that, hey, enemy is coming down on you, so you're dead type things, because they couldn't do the blood. But also, he lost like $10 worth of quarters, man.
What was he doing with those quarters?
Robbing people's lunches.
Yeah, man. I guess.
Well, they make it to the hotel, and they start talking about Eddie, and he knows it's a placebo, but he needs it. He's trying to breathe on that inhaler still. They tell him that as long as you believe it works, that's all that matters. So Mike starts talking about Derry and nobody believing in what's happening. And if you count back every 30 years, something tragic happens. And it seems now none of the adults wanted to know what was going on in the city at the time. And Beverly tells them about Mr. Ross, one of the neighbors. He said, he saw that she was getting bullied and harassed by Henry and the boys. And he saw it was just... He just turned around and did nothing while she was getting, bullied.
Molested. I don't know if it was molested. But they looked like they were going to do some shit to her.
Yeah, he kept touching her. But they called it dairy disease.
And Mike said he wanted to be absolutely certain before he called anyone. And he was certain at the last crime site when he found this picture of Georgie. And Mike says there's something special about them being together. Otherwise, it would have just picked them off one by one. They start to discuss why Mike stayed in the city and kept the lighthouse, and they all feel bad that he did, but they're all proud that he did.
So my part with the whole dairy disease and all the old adults don't want to believe. So with Mr. Ross seeing Beverly gonna get hurt, whatever was gonna happen with Henry, and he just turns around. But when Mike was getting bullied by Henry and his fellas, that one adult ended up. So was he just a stronger personality?
No, he's probably said something because of race. I like black people. I'll know his dad. Damn it. Hey, you kids there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we see Audra pull up to a gas station looking for dairy, and the guy comes out, and it turns out to be Pennywise. And I believe he kidnaps
Audra
people with the deadlights because he puts them on her, and she's in a trance. And those deadlights had to be bright on that actress's eyes, man. They were just fucking flooding her face.
Yeah, shit. That light was bright as hell in her eyes, so there's got to be some kind of a crazy light bar that they had. It was just like, I'll pay you a lot of money, just stare into this light.
Oh, man, she was blind after this.
Jesus.
Ben starts telling a story about how he lost all of his weight because of the track coach was treating him bad, so he ended up running all of his track students faster than all of them.
As he was filling up on Bev.
Yeah, he was very touchy-feeling right behind her in that scene.
Yeah.
Which he was talking about another high school. So after they defeated it, did they not stay like as teenagers? Did they not grow up together? Did they all move away at that point?
I'm thinking since they were teenagers, they had to live with their parents, so they had to move away wherever the parents went.
Yeah, and there was nothing holding them there anymore. Yeah. It was dead, they believed. But Mike wants to talk about what they're going to do, and Richie says it'd be smart if everybody leaves with him in the morning. Bev tells a story about her cleaning up all the blood in the bathroom that her dad didn't see when she was younger, and so she had to be sure, so she invited all the guys over to help her clean it up, and they all did.
How fucked up would it have been if dad came home with fucking six that she's already had sex with, apparently, down in the sewers.
Yeah. So she decided if she was ever going to sleep again, she wanted to make sure that place was all cleaned up. So they all pitched in, helped her out, and everything was pretty cool.
Peachy clean.
Yeah, and then as they were cleaning up, she says that was the time she fell in love with all the guys that day. Weird stuff.
Well, I took it as a friendly thing. Well, beyond Bill, because she had a crush on Bill, but like I felt like it was all as like a friend group, brotherly type love.
Well, Ben goes up stairs to get Beverly a jacket, and Eddie and Mike decide to go with him.
Well, who was it? Somebody said that was it Richie? Somebody said that they all needed to stick together, like don't go alone. But then they all went upstairs together. But then they're like, okay, go to your separate rooms. Be back within 3 minutes. Like, no, motherfuckers, you all go to the same room, handle what you need to do, go to the next one. So you're always together. That's what I would have done.
Especially, like, fucking Pennywise is going to try to get in your mind anyway. Right. Which he did in one of them.
Yeah.
Ben goes into Beverly's room and finds the jacket she needs.
Sniffing it. Did you see that?
What's up with dudes sniffing stuff on women, bro?
Bro.
I've never went up to a woman and was like, fucking perfume or panties or bra. Like, bro, why are you sniffing shit, dude? Weirdo.
I feel like now it'd be more appropriate than back then, because now you sniffing like, oh no, you smell like Axe. You a man. Yeah, be careful, man. But Beverly, she goes out to find that jacket. Mike goes into his room to also get a coat or a jacket and notices the window's open. So he goes to close it, and when he turns around, that's when Henry attacks him. Mike is stabbed in the ribs, and Henry says, I'm going to pay you back. I'm going to pay you all back. As Ben is about to leave his room, Beverly stops him and closes the door behind her. And she says, I'm glad we're alone together. And she repeats the poem that he wrote when they were younger.
I feel like she was you can tell the difference. Like she was being very sexual and very straightforward, where I'm like, that ain't her. That's not her.
Well, she realizes that it was him that wrote the poem, and she says she's been waiting a long time, and she kisses him. And he says, did you ask Bill first? And she was like, I always knew it was you. And they start making out.
In the weirdest way possible.
Very aggressive.
Yeah, it wasn't a weird way. And when he pulls away for a little bit, he looks into the mirror behind him and notices she has this white glove on and these damn parachute pants, these clown pants. And that's when he looks back at her, and it's Pennywise. And he looks at him and says, "Kiss me, fat boy." He takes off running out of the room. Ben runs out of the room and into Mike's room where Eddie meets him. They end up busting down the door and taking Henry off of Mike. And in the struggle, Henry ends up getting stabbed himself in the chest with a knife.
Crazy. Like, number one, if somebody grabs you from behind, you don't just put your arms up like the cops are saying. Put your arms
he's
up.
Been in the mental facility for 30 years 30 at this point in time?
So he's fat, he's old, and he climbed a tree to get out. They don't explain that, bro. What the fuck is going on?
Well, you've seen the window was open and Mike closed it. So some way, somehow, he got up onto the roof to get through, which how the hell did he know that was Mike's room in the first place? And they were not freaked out that they just fucking murdered Henry Bowers. They were not upset. They were not sad. They weren't like, what the fuck do we do? They're just like going with the flow.
Fuck that guy. Well, anyway, they all get into Richie's convertible and they rush Mike off to the hospital. And at the hospital the next day, everyone's waiting on an update from Mike. Ben is outside sitting on the steps and Beverly is asking why, and who is next? Ben goes to comfort her, and as he's hugging her, she says, "I want to tell you something. You remember what my father was like? I fell in love with a man who turned out to be everything I always hated about my father. Why would I do that? How could I be so blind?" And Ben says, "If you see it now, then you're not blind anymore." And he says, "Besides, at least she fell in love with somebody. At least you felt something. That's a miracle too. You have the heart." She says, "You have the heart of a poet." And then she starts to repeat the poem again, and Ben freaks out, and he's like,
"Are you the clown?"
Yeah. Damn it, Bev, is this you or is it the clown? I don't know what's going on. And he kind of starts freaking out again, and she grabs him and says, it's me, and kisses him. And so they kind of share a moment.
First off, let me say this, bro, because this part gets me, is that how often do you, sit by somebody's face and just speak into their ear while they're speaking into yours that way, dude? That was weird as hell.
It's weird stuff back in the day.
They just having a conversation. I just want you to know.
Well, Ben has probably been waiting a long time for this.
30 years.
No. He already had her, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in the books, not in this. But my thing is, she just came out of an abusive relationship, and she's just automatically jumping in to something else.
She knows
she's got issues.
Abusive man.
She's got issues.
Well, that's when Eddie comes out and says that we got some news on Mike. Come inside. And Richie says Mike's going to be okay. And the doctor says he's not out of the woods yet. You can go in, but only for a few minutes. Bill goes in first and asks him where are they going? What are they going to do? He doesn't really know. So Mike tells me to get into the cabinet there and check his jacket pocket. And he finds this silver that damaged Pennywise the first time. And Bill says, we left those down there. He asked Mike if he went back, and Mike says, I was pretty sure he was asleep. But Mike said he was close to suicide 10 years ago, so he kind of really wanted to find him. But he found his way through the tunnels, and it was lodged in a crack of the wall. And he figured that he might need that help again one day. When he came out of that place, he got his life together. And Bill suggests that they leave the Henry Bowers body there.
Well, that's also where that scene where he went after his explanation of the silver. That's where he got the white hair from. Because after he went and got those silver, I guess he was terrified. Whatever.
Well, he suggests that the whole town is in on it in some way. They don't report it. They just leave it. They're all trying to figure out what to do. And Eddie and Richie want to leave the place, but Ben's not sure. Bill wants to kill it as Richie's leaving. Turns the TV on for some reason as he's leaving.
No, they told him. They said that they need to cover Henry Bowers, turn their TV on to be noise, act like somebody's in there, put a do not disturb on the door.
Well, he sees a report about the young children gone missing. And as Bill's leaving, he can hear the Fleur de Lis playing on the piano. And when he goes around the corner to see who's playing, it looks like his mother and a young version of himself. And Bill leaves the hotel, and they're all saying they're going to the airport. But he said, "No, I can't. I can't live with this anymore." He's been scared all his life, and he's tired of being scared.
He don't know what's reality and what's fiction anymore, so
he's going back in.
Which I thought when Richie, when he turned on the TV and he paused and was listening to the kid being disappeared, I thought that was when he kind of was going to
find motivation.
Right.
Yeah, but when he got back down there and was talking, he was just like, "No, I'm gonna go. Like I'm out."
No, the only thing it took was him saying, "Okay, so I don't know what's reality anymore," and then he flashed back to, "You bastard. You killed my brother, you bastard." And yeah.
Well, they all give Bill a hug and get into Richie's old Camaro, IROC, and head down to the Barrens.
Which there's 5 of them, right, at this point? Because Stan's dead.
Yeah.
And Mike's in the hospital.
They're all just scared to go in, but yeah, they still do. They still go with him. And he does suggest that they should have brought a machine gun, Richie does. But they all agree, and they all head into the Barrens. They head deeper down into the Barrens, and as they do go, they find a purse, and Bill notices it's Audrey's, his wife's purse. So he just takes off running.
He abandons everything, bro. Everything that you fucking know about this goddamn clown.
Leaves the group.
You leave everybody to go by yourself, motherfucker. You trying to die, bro. Then he falls so dramatically on the damn ground, like...
Yeah, he starts freaking out because his wife is down there, and Beverly tells him that they need him to step up, or none of them was going to make it out of there.
Which is kind of fucked up, putting all 4 of their lives onto him.
So much pressure.
Well, he comes to his senses and he agrees. They make it to the room where they first saw the dead lights and gather around, and Bill says something's coming, and it turned out to be the paper boat that he had given Georgie.
Which I will give props to Richie. Before they even got to this scene, he was swiveling. He was behind everyone. He was the last one, and he kept looking behind him and making sure like they didn't get snuck up on. I was like, that's the first person that I've actually seen swivel in a fucking horror movie.
Well, he looks up and he sees Georgie, and then Georgie says, "It's all your fault. It's all your fault, Bill. You sent me out and it killed me." And they snap him out of it. And Bill says, "You killed my brother, you bastard, and you're going to pay."
But like, okay, so how did he get in that trance in the first place? Bro, it's been 30 years. Your kid brother is not a kid anymore. If Pennywise kind of aged his brother, and then make it be like, "Hey, I'm actually alive. I've been alive down here this whole time." Maybe he'd be like, "Okay, I get this." But it's like, bro, no. He's still a kid.
Yeah, he wasn't going for like, "You're possibly still alive." He was going for like...
No, I'm saying, but if he would have been like, "Hey, I've actually been alive down here this whole time. Why don't you come here?" Maybe he would have got him. But it's like, bro...
I think it was more of a guilt. I took it as a guilt thing. But also, this whole entire scene, Beverly is the only one that has a weapon with the slingshot and the silver. She don't have that in her hand. I guess it's in her back pocket. This whole entire time, she just don't have it out and ready.
Didn't she have a skirt on before or something?
Oh, she changed. When they were getting prepped to go, she ended up changing into pants, changed her shoes into boots and jacket. But yeah, if I was Beverly, I would have had the slingshot and silver ready and prepared.
That's when you hear Pennywise say, "Run while you still can. This is your last chance." And Bill says, "Show yourself, Pennywise." And you hear Pennywise say, "Silly boy, you think you can see me? You only see what your mind allows you to see. If you stay, you'll lose your little minds in my deadlights, like all the others." And Richie says, "You can't fight that thing. It's like fighting smoke." Bang. Bill says, "Can't you see it wakes up every 30 years and feeds? It's here, down here, somewhere." So Bill takes the paper boat that he made for Georgie, and he puts it back in the water, and it starts to float in the direction, so they follow it. And it leads to this cave area with a small little door, like it's made for hobbits.
Hobbits or leprechauns or gremlins or something.
And I was questioning about the size of the door. It didn't make sense.
It has bones on the outside, and Eddie stops him outside of the door and tells them that he's been lying about being with someone. He says, "I've never been with anybody." And Richie says, "Well, I can't help you with that." And
that's the thing, though, is like, at that point in time, why do you think that is the perfect time to bring up that you never had sex with a female, a male, or anything? But at the same time, how are you a virgin whenever like in the book, you said they all...
Yeah, but that didn't happen in the movie, so...
I know, but it's like, bro, how do you... But also, you said... Oh, no. You said he was married to his mom.
In the book,
and
yes.
Apparently, he was doing...
Yeah, he better not be.
Why would you marry your mom if you're not tapping that? You feel me?
Get the fuck out of here.
Well,
It's like, you're not doing it right, son. Your father did it better.
well, I'm a little confused because yes, he's very nerdy. He looks nerdy, but he's a handsome fellow. Like, and he was dating somebody, so I don't understand. Like, yes, he was busy with his job and business and stuff, but I don't know. Maybe he was just so terrified.
Hold on.
About lying to his friends.
You think that somebody that's in love with his mom will go out here and date a female?
Well, in the movie,
talk about his mom all the time. Well, if Brandon talked about his mom whenever y'all was first dating,
oh fuck no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but in the movie, he wasn't in love with his mom and married his mom and fucking his mom. He was just, I don't know, I think living with her at that point because they were staying together.
He did it because of a guilty conscience, and maybe he thought that the clown could use it against him in some way, or against his friends or somewhere. Like, this kid's a liar, don't trust him, and try to tear him apart. So he went ahead and got it off his conscience, out in the open. Let's go in. We're going in.
I kind of took it as he was so terrified that he was kind of embarrassed about the truth, but he also wanted to bring everything back to reality for him.
They all scooch down and go through the small door.
Tiny ass
and
door.
It's an open cavern area where people are webbed to the walls, and there's like this whole tunnel of people that have been webbed up, and Bill sees his wife. And he tries to climb up to her, but there's no way to really get up to her because this giant fucking spider comes walking out of nowhere. And Bev takes a shot at it, but it bounces off its armor, and it leans up to expose the deadlights, which Bill is staring right into. He becomes tranced in it. So Ben's like, hey, I'll save him.
He looks up.
Gets caught right up into it. And so Richie's like, hey, guys, don't look up into that.
Looks up.
Yeah. And he gets captured into it.
Did you notice when Ben looked up into the deadlights with obviously the super bright light, his left eye had a weird ass like tiny black dot on the colored part of his eye? It was weird.
Weird stuff there. Probably from fucking all the lights and shots they had to take with lights in their face. When Eddie is wondering what to do, because he's like one of the last motherfuckers to do anything, because Beverly's looking for the silver that she shot, Eddie holds his hand up in front of his face, and he says that he believes in Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, and I don't believe in you. And he says, this is battery acid. Now you disappear. And that's when it comes down and grabs Eddie and lifts him up in the air.
Well, he sprayed a couple squirts of his asthma thing, so it didn't do anything this go around.
Yeah, well, Beverly finds the silver, and she comes back with a slingshot, looks right into the deadlights, then closes her eyes and releases a shot right into its stomach, which causes an internal explosion. It drops Eddie on the ground, and the other three guys come out of their trance.
But I mean, Eddie, whenever he was approaching that thing, he had his hand like up trying to block the light. But then every now and again, you'll see him like move his arm completely, still looking at the light, going towards it. It's like, bro, this shit would have trapped you. If it was anything like that Bird Box movie,
where it's just like one.
Yep, if you look up, you're stuck. It's done. Yeah, he'd been gone, bro.
Well, they all gather around Eddie as he's telling Richie, don't call me Spaghetti Man. He does before he can finish his sentence. I think this is what pushes all of them.
Well, Eddie dies at that scene.
Yeah, Eddie's slowly dying, and Richie's like, come on, Eddie Spaghetti, you could do this. And
that's when he was like, don't call me Spaghetti.
You know I don't like it. Yeah, and I think this pisses everybody off.
Well, none of their faces shows any ounce of any type of emotion. They're not upset. They're not angry. They're not sad. There's nothing. They're just
they're just like, oh, we expected this.
Next.
He's dead. Just moves on.
They do have no fear of going and finding it now. There's like no question they're going to go fuck this thing up because it killed Eddie.
Yep.
And so Richard says it's not over. If that thing comes back when I'm 70, and Bill says, let's finish it. And they all agree. And they go into the tunnel to chase after it. They find it and they push it over and start giving it a good thug beatdown. Like they just start beating and kicking this damn thing.
There was a time back in the day where me, Panda, Polar, and a couple of people was playing a game. He was playing wrestling. And one guy who was playing wrestling, so they was coming in the ring. And one guy was just so confident that he was gonna win. Just, oh my God, he's gonna win. He got in the ring. It's like something happened and he fell down.
Oh man!
And then Panda just said, "Stop that fool!" And everybody, like even the computers, just started going towards him, and we was stomping a mud hole. This is what was happening in this damn movie. Yeah. They stomped a mud hole in this damn thing. They were
stomping him and ripping him apart like crazed barbarians. They were pulling out chunks of meat and flesh, and they end up pulling out his heart and lifting up in the air like some kind of ritual sacrifice.
How in the hell is their bare hands able to do this?
Man, they was angry, man, I'm telling you.
I mean, they got his weak spot. They fucked up his weak spot, so
right. But
I guess if as long as you reach inside the part that's the weakest, you can get his vital points. I don't know.
But he does look like an insect, I guess, alien form.
It would have been scarier if he had a clown mask on, though.
I don't know. I feel like this is where, in my opinion, they should have did more demonic instead of being more of like an alien insect. I feel like that would have, because it doesn't like, okay, does this alien able to make hallucinations?
His pupil was off. I wonder if they put special effects on their eyes, because his pupil wasn't in the center, it was up a little bit.
Oh, whenever he was looking at the light?
Yeah, that's what happened again. So I wonder if they had special effects to put their eyes right there so that the actors didn't go fucking blind. Yeah, so Bill ends up seeing his wife, or remembers his wife after this incident. She was stuck up in the air. And when he goes back to the tunnel, the webs seem to be dissipating, and people are slowly being lowered down to the ground.
I don't know if it was dissipating, but there was lowering.
Yeah.
But then whenever they got to the ground, webs were gone, like they were never there.
Yeah, Audra's lowered down so Bill can, get her. And but when he gets her to the ground, the webs have disappeared. So they take her outside, and Richie carries Eddie. Beverly's hugging Ben outside of the Barrens, and we go back to Mike, and he's talking about how he'd like to remember the kids, and he got the memory down just in time before the fog started erasing it from his mind. As of the writing, which is still not in...
He was writing it down, and he was actively losing his memory when he was writing it down.
And then he starts talking about Bill is... he's still writing, and he's still knocking them dead. He's got a big part in a movie...
Richie, that's Richie.
Richie's got a big part in the movie, and his co-star that acts a lot like Eddie.
Yep.
Ben and Bev left together and headed west, and they got married, and they was pregnant
within a few weeks.
And that's another curse broken.
Which I'm a little curious, because he said, Mike was saying that his memory was already starting to fog up. So how in the hell would Ben and Beverly know each other, love each other, and things like that? Because they're so entwined to each other. What do you mean distant memory?
The memory of the events of it when they were younger. That's what everybody had trouble remembering. They're not having trouble remembering adult stuff. They know what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Mike knows what happened. He got stabbed.
Oh, I took it that anything in regards to Pennywise was erasing.
So I say now, after they finished it, maybe, if the power is still there, then they will forget what happened here in, 20, 30 years, because Pennywise isn't there to put the veil over, Maine.
And that is another thing. How, if Pennywise is dead and remove the heart, how is he have the power? Like, how is the memories erasing? Because
the same thing dead. with
Audra. Audra with the D. Audra. Because she ended up...
Oh, she looked into the deadlight.
Yeah, but if you look into the deadlight, you stuck, dude. You stuck.
But he's dead, so you would think it would reverse.
No, it's not necessarily true. If I shoot you, you're bleeding out, but then today kills me, you're still going to bleed out.
But that's not...
Your bullet hole's not going to go away.
That's not the same. That's not the same at all.
Yeah, you're putting a hurt on her.
That's not the same.
Anyways, Bill and Audra are still here. I wish the news were better, but Audra's condition is unchanged. But they're leaving today. Bill thought the time here and away from his work would help, but yeah... Mike's thing's all just gone for good, one of its many casualties. Bill and Mike laugh about their failing memories, and they sometimes have to ask each other's names now and then. Mike wishes there's something he could have done.
See, how are they losing? How are they how are they forgetting each other's names? Because if that's the case, then Ben and Beverly would also be forgetting their names.
That's true love. You don't miss.
No, that you can't have it for one group and then not for the rest.
Maybe if they kill
Mike don't love Bill.
If they kill Pennywise, they forget Pennywise. Maybe that's the thing.
But that but they were friends. Like,
I know, but it's like they have to bond over something, and then that something was Pennywise.
Listen, guys.
They killed him. I don't know, yeah.
It's just bad writing, okay?
Yeah, whatever.
Still-
Yeah, whatever.
When Bill puts Audrey in the taxi, he takes one last look at his silver bike, and he says, wait.
Oh, hell, Silver.
He says, Audra, this bike saved me and Stan's life once. We're going to go fast. And I think we beat the devil.
Gonna go fast.
I said...
Gonna go fast.
He said, I don't know if we can go that fast again, but hold on. So he takes Audra on the bike, and they go for a ride.
Where is she sitting at?
Through Derry.
Yeah, she's sitting up front. But the thing
But there's is it on the not the handlebars,
no,
but
it's
just like the...
It's like the seat, she's sitting up like between the seat and the handlebars. So
The bar.
He can't really turn effectively if something goes wrong.
Right.
So...
And he's in the middle of the fucking street.
And also, he's going down the biggest hill I've ever seen in my life. And apparently, this is the cure if somebody has a brain injury.
What about the cab driver? They was like, wait up. He's like, wait, what do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? And he just rolled off on his ass.
I'm still stuck on the fact that he was on the main street and cars were having to brake because he was cutting in front of them. Like, he easily could have gotten run over several times.
Be stuck on that, dude. He's trying to save his wife's memory.
Bike lane, motherfucker.
Yeah, he's trying to save his wife's memory, man. So as he's going faster down this hill, he's telling Audra, beat it. Come on, beat it. And he's driving through traffic, about to hit people, scaring the mess out of people. And he realized that as she starts to squeeze his arm, she starts to come back. I guess some sort of magic was left in that bike, or she didn't want to die because he was crazy ass driving.
Yeah.
And she stops in the middle of this intersection to hug his wife, and everybody's honking. They're getting out. The cars are coming from all kinds of directions. So I believe that all the lights were green because everybody at the intersection was coming in to hit him. I don't know what the hell's going on there. You know, they didn't collide. Everybody was nice, and the screen fades to black as they kiss in the middle of the street, and we hear Pennywise laugh one more time. Ooh. And that's the end of Stephen King's It. So did he really die? Does that answer your question? As Pennywise is erasing their fucking memory?
Heart was removed, but I mean, you don't know if aliens, if their heart removed.
Yeah,
That's true.
Could have 2 or 3 hearts.
That's true. But then also, can we talk about how anticlimactic the whole beating the scene was? Like,
a lot.
It was 3 hours long, over 3 hours long to get to this point, and that whole fight scene was not even 5 minutes. I feel like that was so, like, they could have done something different. I don't know.
Let's hope we can educate the people with this facts that you may have not known about Stephen King's It.
Extra, extra, hear all about it.
We got the facts.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to put out one fact, though. As they were driving down that hill, there was one red car turning towards them. But if that red car would have been able to complete its turn, it would have been driving into oncoming traffic. It didn't make any sense. But I'll start this bad boy off with Tim Curry's Pennywise. His makeup took 3 hours to apply each day.
Oh, it just seems like a whole bunch of white powder.
Every time they went down in the sewers, the light was reflecting back on the camera, so you seen the cameras in the shadows as they were zooming in on stuff.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Every time. Koala?
Ironically, Tim Curry has a huge fear of clowns. In his contract, it stated that while he's on set, there would be no reflective surfaces around him while he was in makeup. His fear was so severe that a makeup tech almost got fired for having a mirror in his hand while Curry was having his makeup applied. Panda?
Dang. The character of Pennywise was only on screen for 12 to 15 minutes total. Grizz?
I think I'm done.
Yeah, you didn't do no research today, did you?
I did not do much because I was trying to focus on the next thing that we're doing.
Oh, jeez.
Dang. Okay. So let's see. Tim Curry was initially... Nope. Take that back. Originally, George A. Romero was attached to direct, but had to drop out due to working on the remake of Night of the Living Dead.
That would have been interesting.
Panda?
The iconic storm drain scene was filmed in a specialty built set. Koala?
Tim Curry was initially reluctant to play Pennywise as he was wary of the long makeup process. After working on Ridley Scott's Legend a few years earlier, he agreed that he was assured the process here wouldn't take nearly as long. Panda?
Jonathan Brandis, the young Bill, and Seth Green, the young Richie, didn't know the full story to preserve the scare factor. Koala?
Stephen King himself was initially hesitant about the TV movie production as he felt the TV censors wouldn't be able to adapt his work properly. Panda?
Stephen King made a cameo appearance as Bangor, Maine librarian. Koala?
The infamous orgy scene from the novel was never even considered by Tommy Lee Wallace. In addition to being widely inappropriate for TV movie standards, Wallace said something didn't ring true to him about that part in the book. Which, I mean, how in the hell is he going to say it didn't ring true? Like, he ain't the author. Panda?
The 1990 miniseries was the first adaptation of It, followed by the 2017 and 2019 films. Koala?
Despite being set in Maine, it was shot in British Columbia, Canada. Panda?
Tim Curry based Pennywise's voice on a combination of his own and Ronald Reagan's. Koala?
Curry was reportedly so creepy on set that most of the other actors avoided him, which, I mean, I don't think he was that scary of a clown. Like, he didn't look that scary. Panda?
The Losers Club kids scenes were filmed first, then the adult scenes. Koala?
Fellow horror author Dean Koontz had a cameo as one of the asylum guards where Henry Bowers is committed as an adult. Panda?
This movie was Emmy nominated for Outstanding Makeup for a Miniseries or Special. Koala?
The scene at the Chinese restaurant required puppeteers underneath the table making the fortune cookies come to life. Panda?
The 1990 miniseries was trimmed for TV, but an uncut version exists. Koala?
Originally, the plan was to have Tim Curry play every incarnation of Pennywise, including the werewolf and even Mrs. Kirsch. But it was ultimately decided that it would take too much time and makeup as Curry was already playing the clown version, so they scrapped that idea. Panda?
The story takes place in 1957 to 1958 for the childhood and 1984 to 1985 for the adulthood. Koala?
Adult Bill is seen having written a novel called The Glowing, a not-so-subtle reference to Stephen King's own The Shining. Panda?
It has since become a cultural phenomenon symbolizing childhood fears. Koala?
The blood effect coming from Georgie's picture in the photo album was considered quite shocking for a TV movie, as it wasn't typical to show blood like that in 1990. Panda?
I am done.
So the next one is shooting the sewer scenes was potentially dangerous due to everything being so rusty. The cast and crew were cautioned against touching anything for risk of tetanus infection. Next one, Tommy Lee Wallace blamed the poor reception of Part 2 on the fact that the adult actors weren't as magnetic to watch. The actor who played young Ben, Brandon Kane, had a cameo in 2019's It's Chapter 2 as a board member of adult Ben's company. Like every other human on the planet, it turns out that even Pennywise himself, aka Tim Curry, wasn't a fan of the way Part 2 ended. It turns out that the original ending to Stephen King's novel was found to be too cerebral for network executives, so the ritual of Chud was replaced with the puppet and a slingshot. John Ritter retained one of the playing cards with Pennywise's face on it after filmed wrapped. Jared Blancard, who played young Henry Bowers, hated having to call Marlon, young Mike Hanlon, the N-word, and would often apologize to him before and after filming for his character's use of the slur. They remained friends after filming Wrapped.
Oh, it's interesting.
So in the year 2003, actors Jonathan Brandis, which is a young Bill, and John Ritter, which is adult Ben, both passed away.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, both young Bill tragically took his own life by hanging himself on November 12, 2003 in West Hollywood, California. And then adult Ben died in the same hospital where he was born after suffering chest pains on the set of his sitcom 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter on September 11th, 2003.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Let's move on to our final thoughts. I thought it was an okay one. The TV series style was better but as a full-length movie, it was just way too long. Tim Curry was awesome, but he alone could not save this film from the bad child acting and some poor effects. Hell, even some of the adult acting was bad. I thought they could have gotten a better adult Bill for sure. That forced stutter was terrible. But overall, it is a classic that you should at least watch once. And given the time which it was filmed, that kind of saves it for the effects and whatnot from being a bad one. Yeah, but it's an okay one. Grizz, if you were getting bullied and your old neighbor saw but did nothing, would you throw a rock at his head next time you see him?
Man, I'm egging his house.
Say it was a good one.
Yeah, I'm egging his house. I'm throwing rocks at stuff. I'm setting poop on fire. This motherfucker gonna suffer.
Don't put it out with your boots, Dad.
Oh my God, dude, that was an asshole move. But never seeing this one, and I seen it, the new one, first before I seen this one. It's so much better than this one, bro. Like, honestly, I was looking at this like, how was people scared? Like, how are people not scared of clowns? Look at this movie and then be scared of clowns. Back in the day, it's like, bro, they had so much stuff with animatronics back in the day, or like claymation that was like way better than what they had here on it. I think it's an okay one because it is a classic. It kind of raises the level of what I believe, but it's like, bro, it's still not I don't think it's a good movie. At the end, I think they should have put Pennywise's face, like his scary face, on the head of the spider. Maybe that would have been scarier. But it's like, I don't know, because they just decided, oh, well, Pennywise is not a clown, he's a spider. And people are scared of spiders, so fucking let's go. It's like, nah, man, come on, dude. But yeah, like I said, so okay one. I can see what people like attracted to this movie and why they made a second one. But they like, maybe I gotta read the book to really, really get it, to like really be a fan of it.
It's way too long. It's 1,000 pages.
But if it's 1,000 pages and it's actually scarier than this, I think I'm willing to watch it. But I know it, chapter 1 and chapter 2, the new ones, are amazing. I loved it. I actually got scared on chapter 1 because I was watching it by myself at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. I felt like somebody knocked on my door and ran. Not Down and Dash. Why am I thinking Down and Dash? I'm hungry as hell. I'm sorry.
Door, ding dong,
ding dong
door.
Dish.
Yeah,
somebody
like
ding dong dished me right when one of those parts was happening. Where Pennywise was fucking with those kids, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm just so scared right now." But those kids, like they see me come out, they was probably laughing, but I was like, "Oh my God, this is so scary." But it's like, yeah, I said it's okay one, but they could have done better, I believe.
Well, thanks for that, Grizz. Koala, if your friends got together to avenge the death of your brother, would you let them run a train on you, or say that it was a good one?
I am definitely not getting trained, especially with some inexperienced freaking teenagers. Like, that would be
some experience.
No.
Not teenagers.
So I think it is a okay one. I do enjoy the newer version of it better than this one. I think the newer one is a great one, but this one, I think the actors, the kid, I think just Bill actor in general, the kid and the adult version, I think the stuttering for the adult was terrible, and then the kid actor for Bill was not that well. I do think this one is a bit long and slow at times, but I do love how they intertwine the adults in current time and with their memories as kids to fill in the gaps. I think the actors did okay. I think there were some that could have done better, like Bill and his stuttering. The CGI, or however they used it, I think it was okay, but with it being an older movie, you kind of have to take it as it is, and you can't kind of like shit on it too much.
Not there,
yeah. I am still up in the air with the whole backstory of it being an alien. Like, how did he get here? Why is he just doing kids? And I don't know, like, is he actually dead? Like, I feel like it could have had a better explanation, and I still think that him being a demon would have been scarier and a better explanation than just whatever insect alien thing that he was. Let's see. I think overall it is a classic, and I do love watching it from the first time to now, but I will still say it is an okay one. I will definitely prefer the newer version over this one.
About that. Well, let's go ahead and move on to movie 20 questions, which will be hosted by Grizz.
Hey.
You ready, Koala? Then let the interrogation begin. Did this movie come out after 1990?
Yes.
Did this movie come out after 2000?
Yes.
We got 2 yeses.
Do you like 2000, 2010?
Did this movie come out after 2010?
Okay, or do completely your own thing.
No.
Same question. So we're in between 2000 and 2010. Did come out after 2010. Did this movie come out after 2005?
Yes.
So in between 2005 and 2010.
Do genre next. 2005 to 2010. I feel like we need to do like 2007 to 2010.
Did this movie come out between 2007 and 2010?
No.
So 2005, 2006.
Okay. What are you thinking?
That's 5.
I feel like we need to do genre. That's a lot of movies.
Comedy, action, horror?
Comedy, action, horror. Down.
Is this movie a comedy, action, horror?
No.
So thriller.
None of those.
Romance.
Crime.
Was thriller and crime the same thing?
If I said crime after you said thriller, do you think they would be the same thing?
I feel like that's the same thing.
Why would you think that?
Because they're both kind of have mystery, like something happened and they got to figure out what happened. There could be a bit scary. No?
No. Completely no.
So thriller, romance, crime?
Sure. Is this movie a thriller, romance, or crime?
Yes.
Do you want to do romance and thriller?
What if we do 3 actors?
Sure.
I got 3 of them. Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks, and he played the Hulk.
Mark Ruffalo.
No. Edward Norton.
Edward Norton.
Does this movie have Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks, or Edward Norton in it?
No.
You want to find out if this is a crime movie?
Sure. I feel like crime or romance. Add 2 and then it'll cancel out. If it says no, then we know it's for sure thriller. Because we're going to be in the same boat. If you say
If he says yes, then we'll...
But if he says no, then we're still going to be in the same boat of it being thriller or romance.
But if he says yes, then we'll be stuck with 2 things. Then we have to have another question to get it done.
Okay, do it.
Is this a crime movie?
No.
Not a crime movie.
So it's thriller or romance. Exactly what I was saying. You still have to ask another damn question.
It would have went the same way the other way. If he would have said yes to crime and whatever, then we still had to ask between those 2.
So we're saying the same thing, but you were trying to get on to me.
I was right the whole time. Here's for you.
No,
Listen.
because you were trying to be like, well, I know it's a crime movie, so I'm going to ask it's a crime movie, and it's going to be a yes. But like what I was saying actually fucking happened. No.
It leads to the same route. I don't understand.
No, because you were acting like it was a crime movie.
I'm acting like you're retarded. That's what I'm doing.
You want to ask if it's a romance?
Sure.
Is it a romance movie?
No.
So it's a thriller.
That's 10.
All right.
Seems like Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Talking about art here, bro?
It looks like he's in a few.
What if we go by director? Because that'll eliminate a whole cast of people.
Okay. Do you have names?
M. Night Shyamalan.
Okay.
Christopher Nolan. Let's just do 2 because there's a lot of people.
Okay.
Is this movie directed by M. Night Shyamalan or Christopher Nolan?
No. Remember, like you said, you got more genres you can look into rather than just one.
You want to see if it's a horror?
Yeah, because we only asked thriller. No, we already asked horror. Comedy, action, horror was number 6, and we said no. Yeah. And then it was thriller, romance, and crime. It was yes, but there was no crime and no romance. Or you want to stick with the director idea, or?
Well, those directors, they had some good movies that year, but have we narrowed down the year?
2005 and 2006.
Oh, we
haven't gotten a singular year.
Okay, let's do that.
2005 or 2006. So choose a year.
Okay, 2006.
Is this movie made in 2006?
Yes.
Did we do action on those genres?
Comedy, action, horror. And that was a no. You said Denzel Washington, yep.
Yeah, no Denzel. No Tom Hanks. No Edward Norton.
Morgan Freeman is in a few. What's that, Steven Seagal?
You like Steven Seagal?
No, he just looked like he was in a movie. This is Chainsaw. The Omen. Well, that's a horror. That's not a thriller.
I'm just trying to get past 15. If I get past 15, I know I picked a good movie.
Or you picked a terrible movie. Nobody knows.
So no Denzel. Are we trying to do actors? Or what are we doing?
I don't know. I'm not thinking there's that many good actors coming out to this. We did action, horror, comedy.
Yeah, and that was a no.
And
it was comedy, action, horror, no. Thriller, romance, crime, yes. Crime, no. Romance, no. It's thriller.
What about
2006?
Adventure, sci-fi, fantasy. Is this movie a adventure, sci-fi, or fantasy?
No.
I never did see if it was a psychological.
Thriller's a thriller. Could be psychological, could be non-psychological. Yeah, I was thinking Da Vinci Code, but that's got Tom Hanks in it. Deja Vu, but it's got Denzel in it. Prestige. No, not The Prestige. The opposite of The Prestige with Edward Norton in it.
American History X?
No, it was like The Prestige. The Illusionist, I think it was.
Oh.
I was thinking Lady in the Water, but that was M. Night Shyamalan.
What about Christian Bale in The Prestige? I know you just talked about that. I don't know who the director is, though.
Pulse is a horror movie. Bug is a...
Basic Instinct 2 is a thriller in 2006 that has Sharon Stone in it.
13. Have we mentioned this movie yet?
No.
I ain't even mentioned this movie, so ain't no Prestige.
Nope, not Deja Vu, not Lady in the Water.
No Pulse.
Nope.
I mean, not Pulse.
And I said Death Note 2, and it's not that one. Or a Death Note also, I said Basic Instinct, that's a no. The Contract has Morgan Freeman in it, 2006 thriller.
Morgan Freeman, huh?
Me. And John Cusack, that one's a possible actor, Morgan Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
Running Scared has Paul Walker in it. That's thriller, 2006.
And then do Harrison Ford.
So maybe have Morgan Freeman, Paul Walker, Harrison Ford in it.
No.
Damn.
That's 15.
This is going to be one of those, like, red box movies. The Night Listener has Robin Williams in it. That's a thriller. Inland Empire, 2006 is a thriller. Has Peter J. Lucas in it. There's also Tell No One thriller. Andre Duzlia. Okay. Is this Robin Williams, Peter J. Lucas, or Andre Duzlia in it?
No.
I'm running out of movies. There's Right at Your Door, 2006 thriller. Rory Cochrane? We're on the 17th question, by the way. I don't know if you have any other ideas.
Mm-hmm.
United 93, 2006 thriller. Love Thy Neighbor, The House of Usher. There's Sex and Consequences. These are so, like, random actors. Cargo, thriller.
Cargo with Mark Wahlberg in there.
Daniel Brawl, Peter Moulin, Louise Toussaint, and Pierre Font. When Darkness Falls.
Is this movie based on a book or a novel?
Yes.
Sam, you got it.
How do I got it?
You read all the books.
Okay, 2006 thriller is based off a book.
Well, you got it.
It was 17.
Mm-hmm. Da Vinci Code.
No, it's Tom Hanks.
Movies based off books. It's not 2006 movies based on books. Da Vinci Code, Devil Wears Prada, Flags of Our Fathers, Charlotte's Web, Scanner Darkly. There's definitely more. It's a longer list, but I don't know if they are thrillers or not. Okay, so movie title. Alice, which is based off Alice in Wonderland. All the King's Men, Americanese, Aquamarine, Ask the Dust, Black Dahlia, Brideshead Revisited, Candy, Servants, Charlotte's Web, Children of the Men, Curious George, Da Vinci Code, Death and Life of Bobby Z, Devil Wears Prada, Aragon.
When did the Hunger Games come out?
I think later.
What about Harry Potter?
I think that was earlier. But I wouldn't consider those thrillers.
But they're books.
That's a 2012 film.
What about The Fault in Our Stars? When did that come out? Or Looking for Alaska?
That's a 2014 film for Fault in Our Stars. Harry Potter, 2001, 2002, 2004, 2005.
Yeah, let me tell you guys something. I'll give you guys something for free.
Uh-oh.
You ready?
Uh-oh.
The book is not named after the movie.
Oh, shit.
What about Looking for Alaska? When did that come out? What about the Divergent movies?
That's the same names.
How you know?
Because I read them. 2019. That's a TV series, Looking for Alaska.
Does the movie...
It's number 18.
It's number 18, Sam.
Yeah, so talk to me before you just
What do you think about a dystopian future?
what movie are you thinking for it? Okay, we'll figure out the movie out first. Like, don't just ask a random ass question.
Shit.
So did we say no to Prestige? The Departed, Argosy, Casino Royale have based off a book? Did we say no to Da Vinci Code?
Yeah, because there's Tom Hanks in there.
Okay, I know that's a book.
Okay, I'm thinking of two movies.
Wait, they
Children of Men and V for Vendetta.
are those off of books?
Yeah. Well, one's off a graphic novel, but that's a book.
What is it? You said Da Vinci Code? No, what the fuck?
She wants to say that shit so bad.
V for Vendetta. Okay.
Yeah.
What was the first one?
Children of Men.
Children of Men. Okay, go. Are those both thrillers? In 2006.
Yeah, V for Vendetta come out in 2006.
Okay.
Or did the book come out? No, V for Vendetta came out in 2005.
It's not that one then.
Children of Men came out in 2006.
Which is... Oh, that one is on the list. It's further down.
It's got Clive Owen in there.
Do you have any other one?
It's got Charlie Hunnam in there too.
Charlie Hunnam?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure V for Vendetta doesn't come out? Because this one says 2006. Movies based off books, and that one's on there.
I thought V for Vendetta came out in 2000.
You said 2005, but this is on the list for 2006.
It's on the list.
It is a 2005 film. What the heck? Well, that list is whack. Do you have any other authors? Or not authors, good grief. Actors?
Who played in The Devil Wears Prada?
It also says it's a comedy musical. Meryl Streep, write it down.
No.
How about Angels and Demons? Oh, it's 2009. Take that back. Let me...
That's also Tom Hanks. So it's not.
It's a sequel to Da Vinci Code.
I wish there was just a website where it just has everything that I'm looking for.
What about Notes on a Scandal? Is that a thriller?
Thriller crime.
Thriller Prime.
Thriller crime.
But it wasn't a crime movie though, right?
But it's a thriller. It's thriller
Yeah, but this one's not a crime movie.
crime. But this movie is thriller. Thriller / crime.
But it's not a crime movie, the movie we're guessing, so that eliminates that one.
No,
is
it
what I'm saying.
doesn't, because this also has thriller in it. It's a thriller movie.
But he said it was no crime.
This is thriller.
I'll give you guys one just to solve this, okay?
Crime.
It says technically, in the laws of the land, this has nothing to do with crime.
That's what I said. He said no crime. This isn't our questions.
But it's also a thriller movie.
I can be technical because possibly, but nothing to do with crime. I'm giving you guys hints here, okay?
Meaning we suck really fucking bad.
Nah, you just...
Did you ever find out if Children of Men was also a book?
It was, but it was based off a book called Children of Men, and he said the book is not the same title as the movie.
Do you know of any of the Saw movies?
The first one.
I wish I can give y'all a hint. I'll give you a hint, but it's worth a question.
What do you think?
Sure.
Yeah, I was about to say, we ain't finding it, so...
It's not based off a book in America.
Nah, what the fuck?
See, I got a couple of countries to choose from.
There's Tell No One, 2006, and I've mentioned that before.
There's The Valet. It's based off a Belgium novel. Then there's Perfume, The Story of Murder, based off a German novel. Painted Veil, based off a UK novel. Children of Men again. Prestige, V for Vendetta. I don't know why V for Vendetta keeps popping up.
Jar City. I feel like I'm asking such a specific question, and it's just not liking that.
All right, I'm thinking The Perfume.
Well, we got 3. Tell No One, Valet, Perfume, Painted Veil.
See if this movie has Dustin Hoffman in it. Think it has Dustin Hoffman in it?
Is that off of Perfume?
Yeah. The Story of Murder.
Go, shoot.
So does this movie have Dustin Hoffman in it?
No.
It's not The Perfume, The Story
That's
of Murder.
19. You guys got one more question.
I feel like I've seen Tell No One several times. I don't know if that's based off of... It's popped up with the... My next guess is Tell No One.
But what if it's Batman?
That ain't no damn Batman. Nope, that one's by American writer. So it's not that one.
Not Tell No One?
No.
I didn't say. Okay.
Wait, what you said? What did you say?
The book is not American.
But the writer is?
But the writer could be.
Could be.
So the storyline is not in America. Is that what I'm getting? Okay.
Definitely not.
I don't understand.
Meaning it could be an American writer, but the inside the book where it's at is not in America.
But we're going off the book not being in America.
Yeah, the book is not based in America.
But it can be an American writer, author.
Could be.
The book.
Not the book, the story.
The story. Also.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it, you son of a bitch. He threw us off on purpose.
Were you looking for...
Yeah, I was looking for other authors out of the country that wrote books.
No.
The fucking story wasn't in there. This son of a bitch.
Shit.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if y'all get it now, though.
I don't know. We only have one question left, so.
Okay. There's so many of them based in the United Kingdom. I don't think it's going to be any of those. What about Australia? What about Japan?
I think at this point in time, we're not going to get it, so we just need to say whatever.
Okay. Was the country it takes place in...
It's your last question, bro.
Yeah, the country it takes place in the United Kingdom.
It's hard to answer. The story itself, no. A person, yes.
So the person in the story is from the United Kingdom, but the story itself doesn't take place in the United Kingdom.
Yeah. So that's 20. And you guys lose.
No, we get a guess.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
You
my bad.
hater?
My bad. Go ahead.
Oh, where's what?
Everything that you gathered, motherfucker. What the hell?
Okay. Let me see here.
Because there's United 93, which I've seen a few times. 2006 thriller film written and directed by British filmmaker Paul Greengrass.
Ready for the educated guess?
Yeah, what are you thinking?
I'm making an educated wish. Is this Casino Royale?
I need you to agree with your partner before you go with this.
What is Casino Royale?
The 007 movie. Those are all books.
Is it 2006?
Yeah, it came out in 2006.
Did you confirm that none of the actors are in there?
There's no Tom Hanks. There's Daniel Craig. No Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I guess we only did. Sure. I'm thinking it's nice. 93.
What we got, say?
Ask the question.
Is this Casino Royale?
No.
I wonder if
Damn,
it's
guys.
United 93?
Nope.
Damn.
This movie is The Last King of Scotland.
Some red box bullshit. I told
is
you.
Not. This is actually pretty star-packed, I believe. James McAvoy, Forrest Whitaker, Gillian Anderson, Kerry Washington, Simon Burney, I don't know who that guy is, and David, that guy right here, this black guy right here.
Which is some bullshit because out of all the 2006 thriller movies that come up, this one never came up.
There you go right there. What's the guy name? David Obano. Yep. The director was Kevin MacDonald. The writers was Peter Morgan, Jeremy Brock, and Giles Foden. This movie is a biography, drama, history, and thriller. This was in Uganda. The storyline is after graduating from University of Edinburgh, Scottish physician Nicholas Gillian files to Uganda to work at a missionary. And before long, Gillian gets a chance to encounter the general Idi Amin, the country's new president. And the new president, he actually, in Uganda, like I said, it's kind of weird. It's not crime because he's the president. He kills a bunch of people. And so Gillian is kind of torn between if he wants to actually save this guy or if he wants to kill this guy. And this is a nice little thriller here. This is a good movie. I love this dramatic thing.
I'm kind of like slick irritated because I just rewrote it and 2006 thriller movies.
And it popped right up, didn't it?
Nope, not at all. It's not on there. It's not on there at all. So, like, how the fuck am I supposed to know?
As it says, biography, drama, history, thriller.
Right. So you would think it would come up.
Yeah.
Bull crap.
Yeah, that one sucked. We sucked at that one very bad.
But I suggest you guys see that movie. It came out in 2006 with a budget of $6 million. Hey.
Yeah, it sucked.
What is a normal? Because $6 million, that seems like a lot of money.
$6 million is a lot of money.
Not for 2006.
But also,
It's been like 50
it
million.
made $17 million in the box office.
Listen, they spent like 50 million on Lord of the Rings episodes. Okay.
And gross worldwide is $48 million.
See, it was some bullshit. It was some real bullshit.
So they made the movie for $6 million and made $48 million. And it's that bullshit.
Yeah, it's that bullshit.
Okay. This movie is 2 hours and 3 minutes long. And like I said, it is a drama. But I believe that Forrest Whitaker outdid himself in this movie. He really played a good villain. And James McAvoy, which everybody, I believe, loves.
Fucking love James
Oh my
McAvoy.
God, he's pretty good in this movie too. So I suggest you guys see it whenever you get a chance. And I'm glad you guys are losers.
Finally popped up under thriller dramas at the very fucking end.
That's why I say y'all should have did more.
And nobody would have seen these performances.
I did, and I don't know. I'm from you know where the fuck I'm from, bro. And I fucking seen this movie, and it's good.
You the only motherfucker. Fucking terrible.
48 million other motherfuckers.
That's going to be it for us at We Real Reels, guys. Make sure to check us out in November when we'll be reviewing a real movie called Home Alone, okay? One of the greatest movies of all time.
Classic.
So be on the lookout for that, guys. Grizz?
Losers.
Koala?
Bye.
Keep on reeling.
Love you guys.
Bye.